Well, it's a very good morning. Welcome to it. This is Beyond the Itinerary with Uncle Zach and my buddy right here. How you doing, buddy?
All good.
Yeah.
All good, actually.
Good to see you.
Good morning and all those good things.
Yes,
Yeah, it's been a frantic week because we've got all these events happening this weekend and next weekend.
Yeah.
So the juggle of trying to get everybody in the studio before their shows start and before the events happen, and Christmas is always round the corner. So all the shows and all the events are just like juggled in the air. Can they make it? Can they not?
Yeah.
So it's been one of those.
And you and your trips, buddy. It's like 1 minute you're going to Uganda, the next minute you're not, and then you're going, then you're not. And
I
then
know, it's sad, because every time I say to them, guys, I really can't make it, they go, what is it you need? Then I say, well, you don't have internet for the 12 hours I'm in the car. Sorted. We've got an internet unit in the car. Next. Then I say, well, my health is not that great. And they go, doctor on standby. Next. So I thought, actually, I'm going to Uganda.
Yo,
So
just
I'm like,
that.
okay, I leave on Thursday for the Renzori Marathon.
So last night when I last spoke to you, we're not going.
Correct.
I get here in the morning,
And I'm going.
and now you're going. Like
Doesn't
5
matter
minutes
what I
ago.
did. Doesn't matter what I did. Paul said, what do you need?
Yeah.
I will make sure it happens. I
What
was like,
are you gonna do there? Are you gonna do the actual walk?
No. They've said I will be transferred to the event via the Queen Elizabeth Park, where they've put on international media. And because each ambassador was able to invite one journalist from each country, from their country.
Mm-hmm.
I was invited by our ambassador as the South Africa representative.
Oh.
And that's why it became such a key thing that I went, was purely because otherwise the Uganda people in South Africa wouldn't have a representative at this event.
And you represent them.
And I'm
buddy.
representing Uganda for South Africa, which is quite cool, actually.
That is so cool. And you're a white lady.
Yeah, and I'm white chick too, and
Can
I'm
you
old,
believe it?
which is like even better. So it was really, really awesome. And they've just done. I've been watching the group, and they invite every time somebody arrives at the airport. There's this big fanfare of who's arriving, and I'm thinking to myself, I arrive at 3:00 in the morning, and I bet there's going to be nobody there. Sneaking under the cover of darkness.
Okay.
So they just said, just come along. If there's any issues or whatever, we'll put you on a plane straight back home.
Yeah.
So, you know what? It's good. I'm not in deepest, darkest Africa. I'm being well looked after. I guess I'm going.
So there is that big race. It's 80-something.
Yeah, it's the
Ks.
Renzori Marathon. And they still sent me a link and said, am I going to sign up? Have I signed up for the race yet?
God.
And I just laughed. I just wrote back and I said, is this contingent on whether I'm going or not?
Yeah. Wow.
And they were like, no. So I said, okay. Then I thought maybe that's a way I can say, well, because we're so busy here. You know, as a not only as a media house, we suddenly picked up the destination marketing for every destination we visited. They have asked us to sign them up to market their destination in South Africa.
That's incredible.
So I think that has been really key to the fact that we know so much about when we go and visit a country. We really interrogate our visit. We look at everything. We talk to the people. We take our visits seriously. And that way they in turn have said, okay, we just love the work that you do. Would you do it for us as well?
Yeah.
So as a radio show for Beyond the Itinerary, it's also very good because we rely on sponsorship. So it's a really good thing for us to do as well. It's kind of, as I said to somebody this morning, I wish that it had happened when I was 40.
Oh, yeah.
But I've spent probably the better part of my life doing my profiles and begging to be accepted in the media circles. I get to 65 and everybody goes, actually, you're worth having.
You know what they did say about Colonel Sanders, right? He started very late. In his 60s, he found his thing. Trump just started his new job again.
Oh, God. But that wasn't
as
a
the
new job.
president.
That was just a repeat of last time.
Yeah, but still, I mean, he's like, what? He's 80 and he started a new
Is
job.
he 80 already?
Isn't he like 70-something or what?
I don't know how old the guy is.
He's somewhere
actually.
around there. I don't know.
Oh, is he like 80?
Well, all these politicians are around about the same age.
I
and
suppose they
still
spend
work.
their whole life kind of getting to that point. Huh?
Some become first-time parliamentarians at like 75 or so.
And in South Africa, because you would know.
Well, that too. Some of them become first-time parliamentarians
Really?
at that age, yeah. So
I
it's
didn't
never too
realise
late.
that. Never too late, no.
Never too late. So,
I mean, we
yeah.
know that because People's Theatre, who is our first set of guests in our studio today,
Uh-huh.
and I go way back.
Okay.
And our children, when they were little, my kids are now 32 and 36. There was a theatre in Windybrow. Was that also, I think, the People's Theatre? Was that where they started?
Which is just down
Down
the
the
road from the
road?
Civic,
Yes.
the Joburg Theatre, yeah.
So those were all theatres that our children began at, and that's where the appreciation of theatre began.
Oh, wow.
So it's a long journey because, I mean, if Matthew's 32, he must have been 4 or 5 when he started going. So that's a 30-year relationship, you know.
Yeah. Incredible.
Because
man.
I think as soon as kids are little, you got to take them to the theatre because that's where the appreciation begins. And it's thanks to people like you. Who have we got in the studio today? We have one whose name I can pronounce, and that's Giovanni Zappa.
Luciano.
Zuppa,
yes.
Zuppa. See, I always get it wrong. And every time I have him in the studio, I get the name wrong. And we'll introduce him first. And he has been in most of the shows they have at the People Theatre.
Okay.
Because he
read his
just is a
profile?
fun. You can read his profile, absolutely.
Here we go.
Okay. I wonder if he's heard his profile before.
I also wonder.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our first or guests for this first hour, it's the two gentlemen you can see right here in studio. Luciano Zuppa. Let me tell you a little bit about him. He started his professional career almost 42 years ago. Wow. God damn. All right. At the famed number 58 Theatre Restaurant in Hillbrow, in the Cabaret Review, it's still rock and roll to us. Beatles in season, and bless my soul, it's rock and roll. Since then, he sung, danced, and acted his way around musicals, performing in cabaret shows, playing cabaret shows, plays, and musical theatre. His career has taken him on tours all over South Africa and the world. Luciano has started in many people's theatre productions as he has a love for children's musical theatre, and he has enjoyed leading roles in how do you pronounce it?
Dr. Zeus.
No.
The Susical. The musical.
Susical
The musical.
Susical the musical. Wow. Okay.
Dr. Zeus. Have you not heard of Dr. Zeus?
I've heard of Dr. Zeus.
Yeah, that's Susical the musical. Eh?
Horton the elephant.
Really?
Yes.
I see Shrek here.
Shrek, yeah.
Pinocchio. God damn, my kids would have loved these ones.
And he was Genie in
Genie in Aladdin.
in Aladdin?
Last year, yeah.
Really?
End of last year.
Oh yes, he was
Lovely
such a
production.
funny Genie as
He
well.
actually won the Naledi.
He did.
Well, not me.
Not you, but the
theatre,
show
yes.
did, yeah.
And Raymond won for best
Did Raymond win?
actor, yes.
And Raymond was just such a great Aladdin.
oh.
We interviewed them just before their show, and then we went to go and see it.
Oh.
And it was just awesome because I mean the People's Theatre is a theatre where they interact with all the kids. So in other words, unless you have kids, don't go. Because it's really, you need kids to go up on the stage. Otherwise, you're going to go up the stage. He's going to call you to wish you happy birthday.
Actually, we do get a lot of adults that come without kids.
Do
and
you?
They love it, yes.
Wow.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess
They always
there's a
sit at the
kid.
back, though.
I
I
guess
was going to say we sit at the back because otherwise they call you for your birthday or they want you to come and sing a song but it's very
You have to be a
interactive.
bee or a monkey,
A monkey,
or
yeah.
or a soldier or
And the
yes.
children are the stage is very low, so the stage is part of the seating, if you like. So the seating does go up a bit, but the stage is part of the audience, so the children don't have to clamber up or fall off a stage or whatever. So it's almost like they are in the audience when they're acting.
Oh, that's incredible, man. All right, so we also have Thokozani TK Geniene. Mr. TK Geniene is a musical.
TK.
He's a musical theatre trained performer from Tshwane University of Technology. He's notable for being a 2-time Naledi Theatre Award nominee. With over a decade of experience in professional stage and television performance, his extensive stage works includes performances at various prominent theatres such as the Soweto Theatre, South African State Theatre, National Children's Theatre, People's Theatre at the Joburg Theatre, Teatro at Montecasino, and the Artscape Theatre in Cape Town. In addition to his musical achievements, Thokozane has appeared in multiple television commercials for brands like African Bank, MTN, Wimpy, Avbob, etc. He's also involved as a songwriter and voice artist for Takalani Sesame. My all-time favorite, Takalani Sesame. When you got kids, you know all these things, brothers.
How old are your kids now?
Okay, so my oldest one is 22, and then my second is 19, and then my last one is 14.
Oh my word.
When did you start?
I started very early. But trust me, I've watched a lot of kiddie stuff. And I still do. So
But I must tell you, the live theatre is really, it makes such a big difference to little ones.
Yeah.
Because there's two reactions. So we've got grandchildren who are like 5 and he's got ADHD. And then we've got another little one who's 3 who's curious about everything.
Yeah.
So we sent them off to go and watch Aladdin. And off they went, or was it Dr. Seussical? It was one of those. The one who had ADHD never moved the entire show. He was riveted. And he was delighted when they called him up.
Wow.
The little one who was curious left within half an hour and refused to go back.
Wow.
As far as she's concerned, theatre's not for her. Wow. So they've never been able to take her back, because every time she kind of comes past the theatre, she goes, I don't think so. So it's interesting how the different types of children relate to the audience being right there, the show being right there.
Wow, that's incredible, man.
But most children love it.
Yeah. All right, Jen. So let's find out from you. I mean, let's start with you, sir. So how and when did it all start for you? I mean, you did say 42 years ago.
Yeah.
But where?
Well, in Hillbrow, there was a little, and it's still standing to this day, this little double-story semi-detached house.
Really?
That was converted into downstairs. There were 2 shops, and then you came in the entrance in the middle, upstairs, and there was a bar and a big kitchen and a big restaurant.
Yeah.
It started out with a very small stage, half the size of this table.
What?
And normally the drummer would have that part, he'd have his drum kit set up there.
On the stage.
And the bass player would be, and it was just on the floor with the people sitting at the tables eating and drinking.
Wow.
And then slowly but surely the stage got bigger.
Okay.
And eventually, it had a curtain at the back with the sound system behind, and the toilets were behind that. And then you could do little cabaret shows, and we had some amazing performers there. I mean, Mara Lowe performed there, Abigail Kobeka performed there, Judy Page, Leslie Ray Dowling, you probably wouldn't know now.
No.
But it was also sort of at the same time that the Market Theatre had been revamped and opened, and a lot of the actors from the Market Theatre, they'd go and do their plays at the Market Theatre, and then they'd need somewhere to go and eat, and they'd come to 58 to eat. And then, of course, audiences would see, oh my goodness, there's Sandra Prinsloo, and there's so-and-so, and there's so-and-so. So they'd tell their friends, oh, there's this place in Hillbrow that all these famous people are going to. Toby Kushlik, Joan Brickhill, Toby Cronje. They'd all be sitting there having dinner with everyone else,
Wow.
So that's how the place got known, really.
It was multicultural at that time already.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
it was
That's
so.
incredible.
Theatre has always been multicultural.
Oh, they'd always break the rules.
Yeah, they always have been multicultural.
So there was no police raids at the time?
Oh, no, we
No.
did, because we actually didn't have a liquor license.
It would be liquor.
Yeah. But then the owner became very good friends with the squad that would come and raid us. Eventually it was like, oh, yeah, come in, have a drink, have something to eat. Okay, everyone, you can eat your dinner, and then you have to go, and then they'd pay the fine, and we'd open the next day again.
Oh, wow.
But then, like when it first started, before they'd become buddies with that squad that would raid us, sometimes the performer like Abigail would have to run into the kitchen in an evening gown, put an apron on, and pretend to be washing dishes.
Oh, wow.
Or cleaning plates and doing all that kind of stuff. They had to pretend that, and they'd be like, oh, what are you wearing to
Yeah.
clean dishes? So it was a very interesting time, an amazing time.
But I must say,
of theatre.
we were at the Ellis Park on Saturday watching the rugby, and you always go past, I think it's called Sivrite Avenue, passes the Alhambra Theatre, what used to be known as the Alhambra. And the Alhambra Theatre was just such an iconic spot because it had the big plays. It had like Agnes of God, and it had I Love My Wife,
Amadeus.
and all of those. Amadeus was there. And that was before musical theatre. That's when the guys had to remember their lines. So when it was theatre, like I Love My Wife with Toby Cornea and all of them, and they forgot their lines or something was really funny, they would laugh, we would laugh, and everybody had to wait till everybody finished laughing, and then they had to go off and start again. And then they would come back and they would laugh, and then they'd go off and start again. And that's what I think movies took away from us. It took that moment of laughter that you all shared as an audience and as a performer. We lost that.
And also in those days, people could create their own work or performance, like write their own plays.
Yeah.
Where now I think it's a lot more difficult. You can do it in university or at college, but
For
where do you
commercial,
go
you
to do stuff like
very
that anymore?
difficult.
Yeah, and even cabaret venues, there's nothing left.
But Jill writes all of your material, doesn't she?
Yes. Mostly, otherwise it's Disney scripts that we have.
So you're allowed to use those.
Yes, and she
So
has
it's
to pay
under
royalties.
license,
Yeah. So, yeah.
Tell us about the Frog Prince, because I know that.
Wait,
I know
hold
that
on.
Sitho's on.
Before we go there, I want to first get him involved, Mr. TK right here.
Yeah.
So, brother, I mean, I read out your profile. So, when did it all start for you? Like, what made you think, being an actor on theatre, this is the way to go?
For me, it started back in the day where they used to.
Oh, you're looking good, by the way, gentlemen.
Of course.
Can I just say?
Like he's 80.
Bogart.
But all three of you are wearing Bogart, excuse me.
Yeah.
Just he's more flashy and you're more
Mine
subtle.
looks better.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
sorry to interrupt you there, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, it started way back in the day where they used to advertise shows like African Footprint and those Makufe shows, and also African Footprint and stuff. So because of I used to like watching TV most of the time. So because of that, I kind of like fell in love with the whole thing there. Started singing their songs. And then I was like, you know what, wondering, what's the journey to actually be in theatre and stuff? So in 2012, I think, that's where a brochure was put on my table. They were like, okay, dude, here's a, what do you call this brochure? Or what do you call that? University prospectus or something like that. That thing.
Yeah.
It's put on my table. They were like, dude, you can actually go study musical theatre. I was like, okay, fine. But at that time, I was done with school and all of that. I was working. I was like, okay, fine. Let me just go check it out. Because I did not know what musical theatre was all about. The only thing that I knew is that I love shows like African Footprint and Ipindombi and all of that. But I did not understand that they were under the umbrella of musical theatre. So went to TUT and they were like, okay, fine, this is musical theatre. Sing any musical. I'm like, musical? Well, what do you mean?
Yeah.
They're like, dude, musicals are like, Lion King and all of that. I was like, oh, so those are musicals. So from there, that's when, because, I'm from a family of musicians also and all of that.
Yeah.
So by the time I got there, I felt at home. I was like, this is what I've been wanting all this time.
Wow.
So from 2013 to 2015, I was being trained at TUT, and then afterwards, I had a privilege of working for People's Theatre. I think that was in 2017. But before that, we did Sarafina in Black and White.
Oh, wow.
That was in...
Joburg Theatre.
No, so it was in Soweto Theatre. It was directed by Josiah Smalele.
Wow.
Yes, sir. So since
That's
then...
a classic on its own, that one.
It's a classic on its own. And I love how he did it because he put everyone in the same room and actually... allowed us to look back to what was happening around the era and just be where they were, try and just feel whatever that was felt without us, say for instance, because he put everyone, black and white, in the same room and was like, guys, I want us all to look at what was happening in the era so that we can portray it nicely on stage without us feeling like we're divided. Let us all be one in this. So it was a beautiful piece that he did there.
That's incredible,
So
man.
since then, Yeah,
it just took off.
It just took off, yes.
Yeah.
And People's Theatre has been my home for about 4 years.
Wow, man.
And I was actually saying it yesterday that, I would, ever since I started, a year would go by without me noticing what happened. Because I'll start in Jan and then it'll be October.
Yeah.
I'll be on my 3rd show there.
And 4 shows a year.
4 shows a year,
Every year there's 4 shows.
Oh, that's
4
incredible.
different shows, yeah.
Exactly.
So because we've seen how, like you're saying, some of the theatres are not, but we've also seen in new theatres like the Soweto Theatre that has been rebuilt.
Yes.
The old Roodepoort Theatre is still operational. It's incredible as well. I mean, is theatre going or attendance rising? Are people going to the theatre? We've seen movies, there's a decline. But have you guys seen any?
Well, we just did Matilda Junior.
Oh.
And we were sold out the entire run. It was
Really?
chock-a-block. I think it depends on what it is, what show it is, and then word of mouth a lot of the times.
Yeah.
I mean, Matilda, the kids just couldn't get enough of it.
Yeah. I remember Matilda as
The
well.
parents and the teachers sometimes had very strange looks on their faces because watching the parents in the show bully
Loving
their
it more.
children and they're sort of going, oh, I think I do that.
Oh, wow.
But that was I think that the wonderful thing about the People's Theatre is that they're able to take current shows, turn them into plays, and then watch the children see how they react. And they don't realize that you guys are in most of the shows. They just see a bean, or they see a Zeus, or they see somebody in a costume. So they relate to that
Oh, no,
costume.
sometimes I've had dressed as Trunchbull and someone going, "You're Shrek." And I'm like, how do you even see that? I mean, some of them will recognize you from before. Yeah, some of
And
them.
you're in rehearsals already, aren't you?
Yes, yes.
For the Frog Prince.
Yes.
The Frog Prince and other stories.
Yeah.
So I think that's always the refreshing thing is I love the graphics that always come out because we use the graphics to advertise the tickets. And it's good to see the shows starting to fill more and more than they used to be. It used to be a bit of an issue to get them there, but I think the theatre should also be attached to things like the Red Bus. And the Red Bus does that tour around Johannesburg. They should put the theatre on that bus route, especially the afternoon ones, because the bus, I think, runs till about 5 o'clock. So if they say, you know what, if you get on the Red Bus with your family, get off, watch the show, get back on, you don't have to worry about parking. Because then you still get to tour and you get to go back to Rosebank. And because the buses are continual, it drops you off and it picks you up again a bit later.
Yeah.
And those are things that people should be adding to our theatre.
Does it pass through?
Yeah,
the-
passes us
Passes
all day.
them.
You see them going
Yeah,
past.
passes that Rissik Street area.
Yeah.
And I just think we need to make tourism more aware of our theatres. Because when you come and visit our country, do you only want to see the monument? Or want to see a theatre? I mean, we
That's
all
a
speak
good idea.
English. So it also enhances and allows our actors like you guys to go overseas and do that show in the West End.
Yeah.
Because now more people are aware of it.
And a lot of like foreign directors or choreographers come out here to do shows, and they'll say the quality of theatre in this country is top class.
Really?
Sometimes it's even better than what they've seen on the West End or Broadway.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So let's talk about you. How do you prepare into a character? Like, I mean, you've played a couple of characters. Do you ever say no to characters?
No. I don't know. It's luckily, like with Jill, she'll get a piece that she wants to do, and she'll say, I think you'd be really nice for that character.
Oh, okay. And then you trust the judgment.
Yeah. She's got to put me in some way anyway, because they stuck with me, basically.
Yeah.
Now, when I arrived in 2017 to do Shrek, after I'd done that, I said to Jill and Keith, I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here.
Wow.
It's like you were saying about in your 60s, finding something that people want you to do. It's taken all this time to sort of find a spot,
Find your place.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
I think that's the key is that you guys are so flexible.
Yeah. Well, you
Because,
have to be,
you can be anything. Like you and I have to be Sipa or Dad or Geniene or this is us. They can be anything. So he can
No,
wake
I
up
also
today
have-
and think,
I also
I'm
have
going to...
characters, trust me, buddy.
Oh, do you?
You only know this one.
Good dad and bad dad.
Well, tell me, TK, do you reject characters, or do you just take it as a challenge if they give you something you haven't?
I take it as a challenge.
Okay.
Yeah, believe it or not, I was asked to play Crocodile in Sarafina in black and white.
Oh yeah,
Promise
crocodile.
you. Yeah.
Crocodile as in a real one, or
No.
crocodile
No,
as in a
no.
The
character?
baddie.
Oh.
He was the baddie.
And you know
The
this
bad guy.
light-skinned
Yes.
guy,
A
you know,
bad
playing
dude.
a bad
No.
dude. Yeah, so I took it as a challenge, you know.
Sure.
Although it
And
kind of
sometimes it's the most fun.
yes,
You can really
yes.
get
But it
into
really
it.
took me a while to actually tap into it because with every character that I'm given, I start to check what is it that I can actually find that will bring me on a spot whereby I can be able to do that character. Say for instance, with the character of Crocodile, I had to, because it was tough for me to actually get into it.
Yeah.
So I had to check something like Yizo, and then I had to look for a light-skinned gangster, and I found Vuvu. And I was like, there you go, that's my Crocodile right now. I'm going to be Chester.
Oh yeah.
That's it. Yeah, so I just pulled Chester in, I was like, and it worked.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't.
Don't you also find when you're walking in the street and you're the bad guy,
Ooh.
especially when you're like in a series, you know, like Seven Delan and stuff like that? My mother always used to see the baddie, you know, then she'll say, that man is a bad man. And I'll say, Mom, I think it's a character. So he kind of gets into this character. She goes, that man, he's a bad man. And I'll say to her, but, you know, but they get so involved in the series that they recognize. Do you find that when you're walking in the street, people recognize you and then associate you with the character?
Right now, the last show that I did was Calling Us Home. People in Cape Town, they still call me Nelson.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I played the character Nelson. So they're like, hey, Nelson. I'm like, oh, hey.
And that's always, I find it the most interesting, is when you get
I
recognized.
worked with someone where we were working on a ship, and she'd been in Igoli, I think it was.
Yes.
And she was a baddie. She always was causing trouble and having people murdered, and this woman walked up
Wasn't that
and said,
Michelle,
"You."
whatever her name
No,
was?
no,
Yeah.
The Igoli, the one on Mnet.
Oh, yes.
I remember Igoli.
And this woman walked up to her and said, "You are just so horrible." And I said to her, "You do realize that she was acting? It's not real life." And the woman looked at me and just walked
But they
away.
don't. They disassociate that. When I was on Come Dine With Me, we had somebody on the group of 4 that really intended to nail me for everything. I was like nailed for everything. But I just laughed. I laughed my whole way through. And I said to her at one point, be very careful about being the bad guy, because we don't get a chance to become a good guy. Because this is a one-off. It's a once only. It's not like you get to come back and say, sorry for my behavior. She goes, but I'm going to win anyway. So I said, well, leave it up to you. Hey? But I know this show's a once only, and I'm going to be on this thing for the next 20 years. And I have been. Because for the next 20 years, every time somebody texts me and says, I see you're on TV again, we know there's going to be a repeat. And you kind of have to be careful. But people were recognizing me, and they were stopping me and saying, hi. And we're going, do I know you? Like, you know, because we're not used to that.
Absolutely.
It's not something that we're used to having. So they, you know, the one guy came up and he said, must I go smack Sarah for you? And I was like,
Oh.
no. And he goes, she was so mean. I said, listen, dude, it was just a show. Hey. I said, and also the way that it happens in around us and the way that they've edited it and portrayed it is a completely different story. So I said, so don't take what you see on TV as the real thing. Because those editors are really good about the way they put things. And I was looking and thinking, did that really happen? And then somebody would ask, how did that come about? I go, oh, because they told us what we had to say.
Oh.
So you kind of, reality TV is driven by the directors. It's not driven by you. Yeah, so it's the same as you when you're in a series or whatever. Your character's driven by your script and your director. It's not you as a person, you know. So
The worst is when you've got nothing to do with it. Like I get mistaken for Robert Whitehead,
Oh,
Parker
yeah,
Haynes.
that's so
Oh,
true.
Especially with my
word.
glasses on. I've gone to a drive-through and I just hear the staff and they go, Parker Haynes. I'm like, no, I'm not Parker Haynes. And they just don't believe me. They won't. They refuse to believe me. There's a burger place that it happens every time.
And then you should
I'm
just
not
smile
Bogart,
and say, autographs,
no, I can have
anyone?
for free.
And they often forget the role that you played as well, because they'll say hello and they'll call you by somebody, like you played TK in a series and you played Robert. He'll call you Robert because he'll forget the role that you actually played. So they'll confuse not only the name but the character.
Yeah.
So it's quite, and South Africans are they're very true to what they see on TV.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like, I have to often remind my husband that that's fake news or that's not true, it's AI. Then he'll go, no, but it's, I go, just look for the signs. That's AI and it's not true. And that's what you have to kind of really be careful of, is what's true and what's not, because now it's all being blurred with AI.
Absolutely. So you have also gone into TV. You've done adverts as well.
Yes, sir.
How different is it to being on stage to being on camera, especially shooting an ad?
Okay, so the difference is that they normally say that, on film, they say less is more.
Okay.
Less is more. So on theater, you interact, so you have to act with your whole body, because now you're going to the audience. The audience has to read your act. But then with television, there's always like a close-up whereby the camera can capture everything, so you don't need to do much. You have to just be natural.
In
so
a frame, yeah.
Yes, so you're in a frame, so you're fine. But theater, you have to use your body, gestures and all of that, so everything is big in theater.
Yeah.
And whilst television, everything you have to that natural way of reacting.
Yeah.
So that's...
So so when you prepare for characters, is it the same because I think of video like we'd be like going whatever about our business, but as soon as we come into the studio, you're slowly coming into a character. As soon as the mic switches on, the character comes on. But in terms of you guys, in terms of what you have done, how do you prepare for a character?
I think for me, in theater, I'm more like psych myself up,
Okay.
Because
like you can do it.
Exactly, yes. Yeah. Because with theater, it's all about energy.
Yeah.
It's all about your presence there. Once you get in, you can't get in with a
bad mood.
Yes, a bad mood or low energy, because that's how the audience gets to interact with you. It's like you command attention when you do theater, but else when you do TV, it's totally different.
Yeah, because you can do it again and again.
Absolutely, you can do it again and again, and you somehow have to center yourself and not do too much. You have to be like, okay, I'm doing this, and then you find the director going like, okay, TK, that's too much. Just
tone down a
little bit. Yeah, so it's something like that.
I find when I do public speaking, it's like that. So you kind of look at the audience, and when you first walk out, and then I have the script, because I'm good with scripts. And then I get on that stage, and then I have a story to tell, and so goes the script. And everybody says, but that wasn't in the script. I go, well, you know what, don't give me one. Just give me a subject. Say, today you are talking about Uganda. Today you are talking about the Eastern Cape, and you're going to Craddock.
So you're not an actor then, friend?
No.
So that
I would make
work.
such a bad actor.
Because you don't want the script.
No, because my brain doesn't stick to that. Even when I'm doing a writing, when I write my articles or I write books, I have to write in short bits, because that's how my brain works.
You have a short attention span.
Very short.
Okay.
It's probably like 10 seconds.
No, I know this. I always have to call you back. Geniene, come back. We are talking about this.
So it does have an issue, but at the end of the day, I use it to my advantage. So when I'm doing public speaking, my sister says she always loves my talks because it starts off at one point and ends somewhere completely different. She said, but at least we're not bored.
Yeah.
We don't sit there watching a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation.
Yes.
Because I never know if I'm going to stick to that PowerPoint presentation. I don't have one. I have whatever my subject is plays the video of that subject. So if I'm talking theatre,
of this story.
Let me tell you, but isn't that what theatre's about as well? You're telling a story.
Exactly.
And I'm sure sometimes you also go off script slightly when you see the engagement coming from the audience when you're doing a frog story, and you're telling a story about how beautiful the princess is, and you add a few little moments of your own.
I think it'd make a great
some
actress,
directors
though.
like that, some directors don't.
Really?
But it's also like having a good director that can
pick up the nuances.
pinpoint things and say, try this, or be uglier or angrier or happier, and that's all you just need.
I'd forget to be
changes your whole performance.
Can you imagine if I'm a baddie and I forget to be a baddie and I laugh? That would be really bad. So do you find that also sometimes happens? You're a baddie and you're supposed to be a baddie, and then something happens in the audience, and then you kind of think, I really want to laugh, but I can't.
It could work. Yeah, it could work. Say something awful is happening there. You could just pull that, sinister laugh or something.
And the kids are always sometimes you'll hear comments from the kids sometimes, which is really brilliant. Sometimes they are just amazing little comments, but you just got to keep going, and only when you get off stage you're like, did you hear what that child said? It was
that's
so funny.
cool.
And then everyone has a good laugh. You try not
Do
to
you
on
note
stage.
all of those comments for for
we
people who want to read about
we
the
rely
theatre?
on Raymond. He normally remembers all of that
Oh,
stuff.
does he? But that is so cool. And it's so good to see you using children, because they also use children from school. They're open to auditions. You must send your kids into audition. And what they do is they then shuffle the children around. So each child gets a turn to be on and not miss school. So they kind of have they shuffle the kids around.
Rehearsals on afternoons for the kids, and then performances they do like every second show.
So that it's
unless they're playing, like we had Matilda, we had 3 girls playing Matilda, so they every third day they would perform.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the Frog Prince. So it's coming out when?
We open on the 2nd
Of
with previews of September, and then until the 21st of September.
Okay.
So it's not a long run.
Okay.
They've got to come. They've got to come and watch, because it's going to be over very quickly.
So what happens in the Frog Prince? Tell us a story.
Mr. King.
So who's the frog? Is the frog
No,
a
he's
prince?
The frog is not here.
Oh,
So it's basically stories that are put together. Obviously, it's an adaptation of the Frog Prince. So what's happening is that these stories are basically teaching morals, like compassion and all of that. So that's what we are trying to put on stage. That sometimes it happens that children maybe do not know when you tell them that they're being rude. They don't know when you tell them that they're being selfish and all of that. So we are trying to put all of that on stage to actually start now picking those things to say that when you do this, you should be careful of doing this and that and that and that. You understand what I'm saying? So it's more educational and just like trying to make them like socially somehow to be aware of their surroundings and their interactions and all of that. So it's more like that. It's those stories that teach about greed, that teach about being able to navigate a difficult situation as a kid. Because sometimes there are situations whereby kids do not know whether to go left or right. So those are the stories that actually give you that light to actually now realize that, okay, fine, this is a situation whereby I have to act this way.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just a couple of stories that we are working on, and
And what character do you play?
Well, I play the king, and I play
So the frog is your son.
Well, no, not my son.
Oh,
but
okay.
I think he'll eventually be my son-in-law.
In-law, yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'll eventually be my son-in-law. So it's an interesting story.
God damn, I want to check this one out.
I think also when kids see a story happen in front of them, and they say, oh no, there's bullying, and then that one stands up to the bully and it gets sorted out, they sort of incorporate that, or they remember that when something's happening in their lives, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then have tools then to understand or stop whatever's happening.
Absolutely. I mean, I just want to tell you this story. I remember growing up in the 80s when we used to watch a lot of Kung Fu movies.
Yes.
So after you watch it, you think you are the Shaolin Temple. You want to jump off the high walls. You want to kick. You want to fight. So it actually is true that the influence that TV and shows like yours has such an impact actually on kids, So it did it to us, so it's still going to continue.
Nunchakas come out.
Yeah, there we go.
And then before you know it, you're covered in bruises.
There.
Bruises are interesting, because I'm sure you get lots of those when you tumble unnecessarily, but you have to turn it into I'm supposed to tumble.
During rehearsals, I'll get in the shower and I'll be like, where did that come from? What's going on over there? I don't remember smacking my arm over there.
Yeah.
Where do other towns, cities in South Africa see something like your shows?
they'd have to come to the People's Theatre.
So it's just a Joburg
We
thing.
don't really tour. I know Jill has been interested in getting shows on tour, but it normally always falls apart
Because you
of
need sponsors
financing
and finances
sponsors
and things.
like transport and
It
all
does
that kind
cost.
of stuff. Yeah, so getting it going, it always seems to fizzle out.
And that's quite sad because it's such a good thing,
Yeah.
the People's Theatre.
Yeah.
Their shows are lovely.
Are there lots of costumes for this particular play?
Yes,
Really, eh?
yeah. You've
So-
got a basic costume,
Okay.
and then especially the Tando, she's going to have to be changing into princess gowns and a spider costume, and she's got most of it, I think. With the guys, we're lucky. We just have, if he's king, he puts a big cape on and a crown.
Oh.
But it's a lot of every story's got bits and pieces that you have to incorporate, and props as well.
And what character do you play on?
Well, I play a fisherman who has a very greedy wife.
Ah.
And he saves a fish. I'm trying to remember the type of fish. He's a flounder. That's it. A flounder, which is what best friends with Little Mermaid, with Ariel. He's a flounder. So he saves this flounder, and the flounder keeps telling him, "I'm actually a prince, and I can grant you wishes." So he goes to his wife and he says, "Oh, I found this fish and he's going to grant me wishes." She sends him back and she says, "I want a nice cottage." So she gets a cottage, and then she gets a castle, and then she wants to be king, and then she wants to be the ruler of the universe. So she gets greedier and greedier as they go along,
Yeah.
and he just has to deal with it, basically.
Wow, man.
It's a good story.
It's a good story. I
Teaching
mean,
her greed and not to be greedy, because you be careful what you wish for.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. So it's running from the 2nd until the 21st,
Yeah.
and anybody can come.
Oh,
and
yes.
where can they find the tickets and all of that?
The tickets are $175 at webtickets.co.za. And then Snare says to contact her at the theatre directly for special pricing offered to the school groups and for those who join our Kids Club membership program. So with Kids Club, if they remember and they come to watch the show during their birthday month or close by, then we call them up, we sing happy birthday to them, we give them a little present, and we do photos with them.
Wow, that's incredible.
And they get a discount as well. And whoever comes with them, a special price, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so how many other shows are coming to the theatre this last couple of months before the year ends?
Well, yeah, we just did Matilda, then it's now Storybook, A Frog Prince, and other fantastic stories. And then we are doing Madagascar at the end of the year.
No way.
Yeah.
Is that the Christmas show?
Marty.
Are you Marty, bro?
Marty.
Yeah, I'll be playing Marty.
That's incredible,
And
man.
he's brilliant. He even sounds like Chris Rock.
No way.
Oh, my wish. So you see, you're going to have to go now. You're going to have to take all your older kids.
No, I'm taking them all
And it's
with
very
me.
high energy. That show is just, it's like, I like to move it, you know.
Yeah. And I've watched all of the Madagascar.
And which part are you in?
I'll be doing the costumes and set,
Oh, that's amazing.
but I'll be down in the Mandela
So you're going to do the Mandela?
doing the pantomime.
Oh, you're pantomiming.
Oh, you're doing the pantomime.
You see, he's such a popular dude, these two. They just like doing they do the rounds of theatre that's fun. You don't do the serious
All the
thing,
good jobs,
I think.
Just want to keep it light.
Theatre should always be fun.
Yeah.
And I
Where-
think they
where-
should bring back more speaking parts, not only music.
Oh, wow, Geniene, you're not a theatre person.
No, but can I tell you something? I've seen a lot of musicals because I've been going to theatre since 2000.
Okay.
So that's when I started my media career. And like in being in media. So we've been to a lot of shows.
Okay.
And I must tell you, I miss the Agnes of Gods and I miss the Amadeuses and I
But
miss...
Peter still does, eh? I mean, they've been doing the Agatha Christie's.
Yeah,
Now,
I've
I
been
think it's
to
going
see-
to become a
a
regular
regular
which
thing.
It was
Because
in the
it's so
80s.
nice to just watch a play.
Yeah, yes.
It's not a musical, a play. Because there the actors have to know their script. Like sometimes in a musical, because there's so many of them singing, if you forget your lines, you just can kind of mouth it and others will pick it up. But when you're doing theatre, you have a speaking part. You have to remember your lines. You kind of got to do and it's so entertaining because it's not a retake. You watch them do it for the first time, and it's riveting actually to bring back real theatre. Because I watched Bitter Winter not so long ago with Paul Slabaleski's play Bitter Winter. It was done in one room, and it was done about an aging actor and a young actor and a young girl that was trying to get them. One had done his audition, the other one had got his audition, and it was an interaction between them. It was probably the best 80 minutes I've spent in a very long time. And I normally fall asleep a bit kind of halfway in because it's quiet and closed and lights off, and I can't do anything like work on my computer. But that was just riveting. And I see they've taken it to Cape Town now. It's gone to the Artscape. So it was a very well-written play. But it was nice to see a play for a change. And I think sometimes you guys miss that too, because you just want to be what you learned at drama school.
A lot of the stuff we do has a lot of dialogue as well. So there'll be dialogue scenes and then a song.
And then a song.
And then dialogue
That's
scenes.
what I liked about what you guys do at the People Theatre. There's a bit of both.
And also the Joburg Theatre are always doing incredible stuff. Not just musicals. And
There's so much variety. Yeah. And it's
State
just
theatre
incredible.
as well as starting to make a comeback.
Oh,
And it's a beautiful theatre. It's it's a state of the art, literally, with Tshwane Tourism. They've been trying to promote the theatre as well, because you can do theatre nights. A while back when we saw Heel Against the Head, you know, when the guards did that rugby thing, we stayed at the Parktonian across the way. They had a theatre package, which meant you could go and have starters. The little minibus would drive you to the theatre, drop you off, see the show, little theatre, come back, get on bus, go back, and you had your pudding and you could chat about the show, and you stayed overnight. It's so nice to talk about a show you've all just seen.
that's something I actually do miss about theatres. I mean, I don't know if you remember the Joburg Theatre, they used to have the Punchline Pub.
The Punchline Pub, yeah.
And so people after the show could hang around and drink, and they would have comedians on.
And just chat.
Yeah, and they don't have that anymore.
I think
Everything
because Joburg's
shuts
kind
down
of become a
after the
little
show,
bit of
everyone
a...
leaves it.
Yeah, that restaurant is
It's a bit of
closed
a
down.
risk.
Well, at the moment they're just renovating.
Oh, they're renovating.
And they are upstairs on the second floor. And then they're going to be opening in October, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think you'll also find that, like when the Alhambra was still open, they had the Anton van Vaux restaurant alongside, so you could have dinner, and the actors would come down and mingle with everyone. There wasn't this race of just having the photos taken and then everybody went home.
Yeah.
But it's not like that anymore.
Okay. Gentlemen, my last one from my side. I want to know from y'all, anybody that wants to get into theatre acting. Maybe there's a young guy that's watching that's motivated by this conversation. Would you encourage them to go into theatre?
Absolutely. I believe that it's if you've got it in you, why not? Why not just come up and show off what you've got? You know, so we always need new, fresh people that are passionate, first of all, and that, you know, can teach us new things, because sometimes as an actor you can somehow reach a ceiling a little bit. You need someone to actually maybe awaken also that spirit of going like, you know what, I once had it before, but you know, along the years I kind of like got used to it, but now that I'm seeing this newbie, oh my goodness, I need to step up.
Yeah.
So it's encouragement for us when new people come through, and you can always find an agent. You know, there's a PMA where you get to audition and you'll find someone to represent you.
Okay.
That's how you're actually going to get these auditions.
Yeah.
So PMA, it's well, what's it called? It's
Professional Management
exactly.
Association, I think it's called.
Yeah. Check that on Google. Yeah, find any agent there. There are incredible agents listed there, so you can check
Publicists, they also call them in this country,
And also what you
because we've
said
got some wonderful publicists.
with Pretoria Tech
Yeah.
going and studying as well.
Yeah, you can,
Places.
yes, you can study, but also if you don't have, you know, the funds to go there, and you can always contact these agencies, and they can check how the level that you're in, you know, because not all actors or performers that went to school are actually great, and I'm sorry to say this, but I mean, it's like that. I mean, I've done math at school, but I'm not great in it, so I can't say I'm a mathematician, because so not everyone actually after school wants to be on stage. Not everyone wants to be on stage. So if you don't have the funds to go get the training, just contact these agents and let them find out for you what level you're in. So if they feel like you're stage ready, then
You can look up a number of really good ones. Bridget van Ula, Colette Dawson, Deborah D'Souza. They are all on the theatre They do Newmarket, they do State, they do Joburg Theatre. They're known amongst, and those are the three that everybody currently uses because they've been around for 20 years. So they know the audiences, they know the media. They're really good to have for your shows, for the shows. And I have a last question. Are you guys going to
Wait,
Hollywood?
he hasn't answered my question.
Well, the way I did it in the 80s was I started working at the restaurant as a waiter.
Okay.
And then they found that the owner who was put the shows on found out I could sing, so she put me in the camera. But I could sing, but I was terrified. So she eventually made me wear dark glasses, so that my eyes weren't looking like.
Okay.
I was so terrified. And that sort of taught me to look at the audience. Because when your eyes are darting around, that makes the audience very nervous, and so I learned a lot from that. And then eventually, after a few years of that, found out about auditions to musicals. I didn't really have any training as far as dance training, nothing. But I had to pick it up as I went along, and then got into musicals, and there was no stopping me, basically.
And People's Theatre's all over our branding as well, which is so awesome. So.
And as you're doing it, you get better and better and better as you're doing it, I think.
Yeah. Do often people around you, family, say stop acting? Like, do you get into characters to get away from the reality character?
Not really with my family.
Oh, my
like,
sister always
choose.
calls
They'll
me
be
a
like,
clown.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, my sister has a problem with me. She's like, you're never serious. That's the problem.
They
with
just
you.
think I'm
You're
weird.
just a clown. Yeah, my sister
Weird.
thinks I'm
You're
weird.
just weird.
I'm just getting into my character. Like, nah. There's something wrong with you. There's just something wrong with you. And also, ma'am, to answer your question, if we're going to Hollywood, just show us the way. Show me the way. I don't know about Luch. If you could show me the way, send me the plane ticket, I'll be there.
I think I've missed.
But
I've
that
missed
means
my
we'd
cue.
miss. I think we should grow, and theatre in South Africa has grown. We just need more sponsors to take our theatre seriously. And it probably won't happen in our generation. It'll probably happen in the next. But we have got so much talent. When I watch that, like when the guys go overseas, I mean, they come back because they just don't. I mean, what was his name? Vosloo, he went over, became the mummy, never
But
did.
now
I
he
think.
comes back and he's a big hero.
But he hasn't
And
done anything
Charlize
else.
and-
That's
I don't
it.
think he has to.
Charlize, he doesn't have to got enough money. Charlize Theron.
Now he can
I
pick
mean,
and choose what he wants to do. I
Oh
think.
yeah, Theron.
But I also think that theatre evolves all the time.
It
So
does.
new things come, and then that might die out, but then something else will come along. It just changes. But it still keeps going, which is brilliant.
Which is brilliant, yeah.
All right, your last parting words to anybody. Send a shout out to your family, the wife, or something.
Oh yes. To my darling wife, Bethany George. Yeah, because I need to say it right. So
You gotta say it,
I won't
man.
sleep outside. Yeah, babe, love you so much, and yeah, to my family, you guys have been incredible, and yeah, to my friends, thank you for putting up with me. I know I'm not the easiest person to put up with, but hey, you guys are doing it, and you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Shout out to them. And your side?
Well, yeah, my family as well. My mom, my 3 sisters, Franca, Daria, and Chintzia. I mean, they do put up with a lot with me. Yeah.
Oh, Solo
And,
Mia, just reminiscent of a
thank
Solo
goodness.
Mia.
Yeah. Thank goodness for them. They've really helped me be where I am today, really. And I love them all.
Incredible, man. Thank you so much, Shenwan, for joining us on
Thanks
the
for
studio.
having us. Yeah.
This was an eye-opening discussion. Thank you very much. I've learned a lot about, children's theatre and, of course, the work that goes into it. There's so much preparation. I'm sure there are times where you're like away from the real life for like 2-3 months, just going into character and stuff like that. Yeah, and the people around you just have to understand what you do and give you that space. So shout out to them as well. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Come and
it's been
see us.
incredible. Yes.
People's Theatre in Bloemfontein.
So the People's Theatre is in Bloemfontein at where the Joburg
In the
Theatre.
Joburg
Joburg
Theatre.
Theatre.
Oh, it's
complex.
the one on the side.
On the side at the top.
Yes,
yeah.
at the top.
Yes, yeah, beautiful. man.
Loads of parking.
Yeah.
No
Loads.
issues with parking.
Yeah, and it's safe.
Very
People
safe.
mustn't think Bloemfontein is not, but it's safe.
The theatre is safe.
The
Yes.
theatre
Yeah,
is
the
safe.
theatre complex
And
is
also,
very safe.
Bloemfontein is getting better.
Absolutely.
A lot better.
Hopefully.
Yeah. All right. Geniene, so we getting ready for the second hour.
We are.
We've got another guest coming through on the other side of 12 o'clock.
We have,
And
and
we'll have
it's a
conversation.
surprise.
It's a surprise.
Yes.
All right.
It'll be a surprise even for me.
Oh,
Should we maybe stay for the surprise?
Absolutely. You're most welcome.
thank you very much, gentlemen. We appreciate you, and thank you for joining us today. This has been an incredible discussion, and really appreciate your time.
And welcome back. It's Beyond the Itinerary with Geniene and Uncle Zach.
Thank you
course,
very
that's
much.
alright.
Thank you, Auntie
It's a
Jay,
pleasure.
Auntie Geniene.
I thought by now you'd know my name starts with a G.
Sorry, buddy. You know I'm like you. You know, people with ADD sometimes, you know.
But you know, it's also remembering people's names. I can
Yeah.
meet somebody 10 times. Like, I know Luciano, but I still introduced him as a totally different name.
I heard, yeah.
And I'm just thinking, like, really? Like, do you have to have his name plastered on his forehead so that you can remember?
No, but you must do better, bro.
But we've known each other for a long time. So
Okay.
Giovanni / Luciano and I go way back.
Okay.
So I think he'll forgive me for that. So since it's Women's Month,
Yeah.
we decided to bring motoring into the studio as
so
a woman's
excited.
thing, not a guy thing, because motoring's traditionally a guy thing.
Yeah.
So we're saying, no, now it's a woman and guy thing. This weekend I had a look at some of the new cars that are coming out, and one of them was the MG SUV. And when I first got married, my husband had an MG
Which husband
Roadster.
is this? The first one
first
or the
one.
third one?
So he had an MGB Roadster. We
Okay.
rebuilt this car. It was such a lovely little car. And it's quite funny, that was like at the beginning of our lives. So that was when I was like 19.
Yeah.
And now I'm 65 and I'm looking at an MG. But I'm not looking quite at the Roadster. I'm now looking more at the thing that can tow something, because we want to travel. So the SUV just looked amazing. And I just thought how far cars have evolved. They start off as one brand, and they end up sort of producing another type of car. You know, you look at like an MG, I always think of as a sports car, but it's actually also now a normal car. Would you call it normal? So we're introducing two ladies involved. Judy Maharaj is the show director of the Festival of Motoring, which is, of course, our annual premier motoring event, which is going to be at Kyalami Grand Prix circuit from the 29th to the 31st of August. And we're looking forward to that, because we went to last year's. I was invited by Master Drive. They had a women's event, and we were able to talk to people about being a paraplegic and yet still being able to drive. Because I think there's a special company in this country that changes your car, that you can still drive even if you're paralyzed. So that was really nice to be able to talk to them. And of course, we're talking to Paige as well. And you're a driver, I believe. So that's going to be exciting when you talk to a driver. So, and those are the people you have to say to slow down, because when they take you around the track, you just close your eyes. And you just let
can't
them
wait
drive.
for that experience.
We did that at what is that? There's a racetrack just outside Johannesburg,
Okay.
and we got to drive the Maseratis, but we had a driver for our car, and I just said to him, closing the eyes, and he was doing 200 or 300 or whatever it was, and I just thought, just going to close my eyes and hope that I get to the other side.
Wow.
So it was great fun. So I can only imagine what you do. So we'll start with you, Judy. Tell us a little bit about the show.
Sure. So the Festival of Motoring is held annually at the end of August to welcome in spring for the Johannesburg crowd. This is our 8th edition, and the show brings together all segments of the motoring sector. And this year we've aptly themed the event driven by the spirit of Ubuntu, because we are celebrating the community, the motoring community, for the love of the vehicle, for the love of automobiles. And every brand, manufacturer, importer exhibits at festival. And we are a experiential motoring show. So we bring together over 30,000 people over 3 days, and the exhibitors put on a wow activation for the consumer, and we have experienced partners on board as well. And Shelby has been a partner also of ours for 8 years. So there's rides on the Kyalami racetrack.
Oh, wow.
There's you get to go with a trained instructor. That's when you get to close your eyes, Geniene.
I know.
And
Can't wait.
But he won't.
and then we have a self-handling track where the visitor gets into the vehicle and drives the vehicle. And then we have a 4x4 adventure course where the consumer gets into a 4x4 vehicle and experiences that, also with a trained instructor.
Wow.
And there's plenty more experiences. There's drifting, there's karting, we have a mini carnival on board, a massive food court. So there's just many experiences for the consumer.
But you
all
also have
motoring.
motorbikes as well.
Yes, so on track we have content, the ZX10, the Sunbet Masters ZX10, and they hold a national round at Festival of Motoring. We've got 2 speed challenges, the Velacha Racing with over 50 entrants, and Shelby returns with their very iconic speed challenge for the Mustangs. But Paige is going to tell you all about that.
Well, I must tell you, I did I think it was not last year, but the year before, I had the opportunity, the motorbikes, they brought out a new motorbike and we were able to ride around the track, and I went with a friend of ours who was determined to see how fast he could go. And I was like tapping him on the shoulder, we can go slower, and eventually he dropped me off. He said, I'm dropping you off and I'm going on my own. And off he went. But it was great because we were able to see the new motorbikes. I think Harley had a really nice area. What was nice about Harley and Indian, they were right next to each other, and they've got very luxury bikes. But you're able to sit on a bike, have your photograph taken, kind of just pretend that you're there.
Yes.
So it's awesome because the cars that are on show as well, you're allowed to sit in it or go near it, but you can't drive off with it. But that's really cool that you can pretend you drive one.
Yes.
Facebook moment.
Yes, absolutely. And change your WhatsApp profile picture.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to let Zach talk to Paige because you know a lot more about Shelby and the cars. I've only seen the movie. I think it was with Matt Damon.
Yes,
Am I
Ford
right?
vs Ferrari.
Yes, and they told the whole story of
Yeah.
the Shelby and so I'm going to let you talk to Paige about that.
Okay.
I'm going to allow you.
Oh, thanks for allowing me. Because this is a ladies' gathering. I see. I'm outnumbered. Paige, wow, man. So tell us a little bit about Shelby. I mean, what a story.
Yeah, so in 2015, they announced they were going to be bringing Mustangs to South Africa in right-hand drive. Previous to that, they were only left-hand drive imports.
Oh, wow.
So when we heard that, my dad had the idea to get the rights to Shelby for Sub-Saharan Africa, and we were successful in it. So in 2016, we launched Shelby in South Africa. So we have the rights to Sub-Saharan Africa, but it's the same brand that's in America, Shelby American. And we do all the mods and upgrades on Mustangs for Shelby for Sub-Saharan Africa, and then we also involved in the sales of the heritage cars, which is GT40 Cobras, Daytonas. And fun fact is all Shelby Cobras, Daytonas and GT40s for the world are built in Port Elizabeth in South Africa. Yeah,
That's incredible.
for years and years and years. Yeah. So it's a really special brand, and yeah, we've created a really cool legacy and brand in South Africa with Shelby, and thanks to Festival of Motoring, we've been able to give the experience to the public to come and see, feel, touch, hear Shelby's in person, go for rides on track in them, and that's what we're all about. We're all about people being able to be up close and personal with the cars.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the AC Cobra is probably my favorite car of all time.
Oh my word.
So I just go crazy when I see one. So you guys build them in Port Elizabeth. Are
Yeah.
they brand new, or are they kits?
No, so it's called a recreation, so it's basically identical to how they were back in the day. They have all the machinery and molds from what they were built like originally.
Okay.
And it's called a recreation, and then you get a Shelby license on the cars now. So that's not our business, that's Superformance. It's owned by High Tech Automotive, Jimmy Price, quite a well-known name in South African motorsport industry, and it's his business that builds them, and then we do the sales for South Africa for the heritage cars.
But you also drive, don't you?
Yes, I do.
So tell us a little bit about the trial.
Hold on. Before you go there, do you also modernize the AC Cobras? Meaning put a radio in, or they still stock stand original?
No. You can have modern. Yeah, they have some modern aspects to them. Like they're very. You can pick and choose a lot of different add-ons and extras. But when it comes to Shelby licensed vehicles, obviously there's some restrictions in order to get it licensed by Shelby in America.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they also do like a 1965 Mustang with a modern engine drivetrain, so you can literally turn it on like a normal car.
A bit like overhauling.
So it's not, the hard work of an old car, but it looks like the old car. They do amazing vehicles.
That's
so
incredible.
Very cool business, yeah.
So what do you drive?
Race?
Yeah, when you race.
Okay. So when I race, I drive a Ford Fairlane, 1968 Ford Fairlane in the championship at the moment.
1968?
Yeah.
Sure.
It's big.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a huge car.
And no ABS, no power steering.
And where do you race then?
Oh, wow.
All over the country, mainly Swartkorps, but we also race.
Oh, so Swartkorps is like where they do the saloon car type racing.
Yeah. So yeah, we're leading the championship with that car at the moment, and then I also race Shelby Mustangs at the alternative motorsport events. So like the Festival of Motoring Time Attacks, we race the Shelby Mustangs, Knysna Hill Climb, Cape Town Hill Climb launching now in October. We'll be racing, and then Top of the Hill Challenge at Swartkorps in November as well.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
incredible, man. All right, so do you drive the same way on the road as well? Do you get tempted sometimes? Do you,
No, they can't do that.
Wait, shit, let her answer.
No, generally I'm very chilled on the road.
Okay.
I think I get my thrill on the weekends. I don't have that urge to have to go fast. But obviously if I'm in a rush,
Yeah.
I'll get there.
Okay, that's incredible.
Like today.
Okay. Wow. So you've been part of the world of motoring for the last 8 years.
Yeah, Festival of Motoring. So we've been
Festival
with
of-
them since they started, and it's been an incredible event. We've gone bigger and bigger every year.
Yeah.
So we've always done rides and track experiences. We sell our Shelby merchandise there, which is always a really popular activation, and some of our partners are involved with us as well. This year we're going a bit different. We've got a new stand that we're trying out, because usually we've been in 2 different spots at Festival of Motoring, and we're actually a really small team, so we literally run up and down all day. So we managed to find a really cool spot with Judy for this year, where we've got a really big stand behind the main pit building, and we've got really cool activations. We've got a tire changing activation, scale electric, simulators, pop rivet competition. We're giving away smoothies and coffees and all sorts of fun, and reaction rings, because drivers have to have quick reaction time. So we've got a reaction ring. So we've got a stand just full of all sorts of
fun
stuff. Yeah, and then with that, the cars will be on show, and then just next to that will be our Shelbys that are going on track and racing, which you can come and have photos with, chat to the drivers, get up close and personal to their cars, and watch them go out and do the time attack.
That's incredible. How many cars are you bringing from Shelby?
There'll be about 8 to 10 cars racing.
Enough for
and
you?
then there'll probably be about 6 cars on show.
Oh,
So we'll have a fair amount of cars.
that's incredible.
Yeah.
So back to you. I mean,
I just wanted to, that she won the powerboat champions when she was 9.
Yeah.
Really?
I started in powerboating. Yeah.
wait, what's powerboating?
So my father was a world champion Formula 1 powerboater.
That's those powerboats that
Yeah.
literally ride along almost standing upwards,
Yeah, it's
because they
almost
go
like-
so fast.
It's got like a nose with 2 pointed sides, long, thin Formula 1 powerboats. So I started in powerboating when I was 7, and I won South African champs when I was 9, and then world champs at age 11.
What?
And then I moved to cars after powerboating.
Then I just moved to cars.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had no choice. My dad had a second really bad accident in 2002 in powerboats, and he decided cars were safer.
That's why your name is so familiar.
Yeah.
Because
wow.
you must have heard of her dad,
Yeah, Peter Lindenberg.
Peter Lindenberg.
Oh, yes,
he
yes,
was
yes, yes,
he was a
yes,
powerboat, and then he had an accident while powerboating.
Yeah.
That was Peter Lindenberg, and I didn't realize you were his daughter until I just clicked now when you said powerboating. I was like, oh, I recognize that surname.
Yeah.
And is he still involved, in the business with you, and
Very much.
still
so.
very much involved?
Yeah, so he retired from racing in 2022. His body is sore. He's had a lot of
I can
accidents.
imagine.
So he retired from racing, but Judy will tell you he's very involved in the business. He's at every event and every race, and no matter how sore his body is, he's
Motoring's in
marching
his
around,
blood.
up and down, calling the shots. So my sister and I work with him, and we sort of taking over from him, but he'll never stop working. He's very.
And are you married?
involved.
Do you have children?
Married. I got married last year, May.
Oh.
No kids just yet.
And who drives?
I actually hate driving on the road, to be honest.
Really?
Like, I love being driven. I always say to my husband, I'd love to have a driver, because I'm always so busy. I just want to be able to, like, I always work in the car when he drives to just catch up. I'd love to have a driver, because then I can just get so much more done in my day. So I don't enjoy driving day to day on the road, but put me on a racetrack and I don't like being a passenger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can just imagine, because I mean, you kind of used to driving yourself, and having somebody else drive you is just phenomenal. I mean, that's just really. And do your kids tell you, go faster, mommy, faster? When you have kids, that's what's going to happen.
I'm sure they will. I've got a nephew, and all he wants to do is race and ride motorbikes. So I'm sure the next generation will be as strong as what we are in motorsport. Yeah.
And your siblings, do they drive or?
No, we three
They
girls.
come and support you?
We all work in the automotive industry, but the other two have never raced. They never took to it. We all tried it out, and it just wasn't.
You three
their thing.
girls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your dad has never son. Oh my word.
He said he's very grateful now, because if he had a son, he would be a ballet dancer. Because we're all such tomboys, and we're all quite wild. I mean, my sisters don't race, but their knowledge and love for cars and speed and thrill is as strong as men. So I think my dad's got his hands very full.
I can just
And our
imagine.
husbands, yeah.
And then tell me, so crashes, I mean, you talk about your dad and the crashes, and have you had any?
No, nothing too drastic, like the odd little bump and whatever. But I lost a powerboat. Someone knocked me in Port Elizabeth, and the boat turned upside down and it sank. They got me out, but they never ever found the boat.
What?
That was as bad as it really got. I've had like the odd little incident on track, but I've actually, touch wood, never ever broken a bone.
Really?
Yep.
But you know what's quite interesting is Paige has done a million things, like most of us do, but as a woman, she's fabulous. She's done, she's worked as a ski instructor, skiing, motorboating, all that stuff, summited Kilimanjaro, which is quite a high mountain to summit, and completed endurance events like the Mad 2 Run.
Wow. So you just
like wild.
I love a good challenge. I'm not good at sitting in front of the TV. So I love a good challenge. And most of the big things I've done, like Kilimanjaro, Mad to Run, were all for charity. So I really like doing something for someone who can't. So like Kilimanjaro, we climbed to raise money to put girls to school for sanitary pads. So I really love giving back and pushing myself to limits to help others, and that's where the crazy adventures come in.
Does your husband handle it well? Like slow down, lady. Like, I still want to be married with you, man.
Yeah, my husband's really chilled. I'm really lucky. He's very understanding of my lifestyle and who I am. He's never tried.
But what does he do for a living? Does he race?
No, he's not involved in the automotive industry at all. Never ever raced. I stayed far away from that. I think it's just too close to home. But he's actually in like software sales, like that side of life. A lot more tech savvy than me. But he loves cars, and he's also done crazy runs and triathlons and things. So we have similar interests in that side of things.
You're both active.
Yeah, very active.
I do want to ask you though.
Yes.
Technology in motoring. Is it going to be is that something that, because I know you guys are part of Messi Frankfurt, so being German and having that whole German technology AI thing, is that something we're going to see at the Motoring Festival?
Definitely, the brands are bringing it. They're definitely going to show you new information technology and what's taking place in the newer models. But I think it's the launches. I don't want to reveal them.
No, sure.
So on Media Day, we will focus on that and communicate that. I mean, communication's gone to a new level with the motoring sector.
That's amazing, because I mean, if you look at your cars these days, I mean, you need a degree to read everything. I know in my car, just getting the Bluetooth to work has been a mission, so I use my phone on speaker, because I know I have to sit still and then go help and do, because I drive a Fiat 500, so I like have to figure it all out, you know. So I need the time, but up to now, it's just easier just to use my phone on speaker. But I know that the new cars they have things that help you. Like the especially the Chinese models that are coming out now, because so many of the big brands left South Africa, the new Futons and those kind of cars are coming back in and making our lives kind of harder for choice, because now you're spoiled for choice. You know, you can decide what features work for you, especially the Buckies.
Yes.
Because Buckies are big in this country.
Yeah, true. And so you'll see a lot of that on the 4x4. Even there's a company that only focuses on accessories for the 4x4. Maxi, they are at the 4x4 track.
Oh, that's awesome.
But connectivity wise, because I know you read an article recently on Teams meetings. Everyone's doing these meetings in your car. Well, actually, on my way here, I was in the Teams meeting, and only, like, obviously you're not going to switch on your camera, but you can hold a complete meeting and it's on your screen displaying all the participants, even the chat. So you pull off to the side, show them your face and put the camera off, and then you're back in your meeting.
Wow.
I've been doing that for quite a while now.
Really?
I'd be scared to drive next to her. It's bad enough we've got the taxi drivers on their phones, and now we got Teams meetings in the cars. Girl, oh girl, oh girl. I'm not so sure about that. But at least, I mean, that I think there was an ad during COVID where the guy was driving his car and then he pretended to be at his desk, and meanwhile he was driving this SUV up a mountain, and then he was doing fine until the cow mooed.
Oh.
And then he said, oops. And he said, what's that? And he said, oh, I don't know. I think something must have happened. Meanwhile, he was driving on holiday, and the guy thought he was actually at his desk. Because that's what technology does. It allows you to be a digital nomad and be able to travel, you know. And I think with the new anti-hijacking and those kind of, you know, the kind of things that allow you to keep your car longer.
Yes, true. But obviously there's a safety element to it. And so I think that's what you will find at Festival. There's an education going on, definitely. And that's what happens at the self-handling track. There's 16 brands providing that information. And even, you know, the reverse park.
There's screens where you...
Parking. So even that, they will feature that and teach the consumer on what more you can do with your vehicle.
I think that's quite exciting, actually, because I don't use my husband's camera in his car. He uses it because it gives him the red lines and the orange lines. I use my mirrors and my middle mirror. I'm sorted. Because it gives me a 3D... I'm uncertain on how to read the 3D.
Yes.
It gives me a bit of an uncomfortable feeling to use a camera that is not my eyes. It's a different eye. But he uses it and he barks perfectly. I just battle a little bit with it. I prefer just to use my mirrors.
Yes, I haven't done it yet. But when you get into a parking lot, you can just... press that button. You tried it?
I haven't tried it. I've
With
heard
what?
Oh my word! And the car parks itself.
And you just relax, and it goes. And
It literally
parks
does
for
it
you.
itself. Yeah.
It's a self-parking.
Which car is this?
I'm not going to tell you
you
the
don't
brand.
know. Okay, cool.
But I love all brands. I'm a neutiral player.
I was going to ask you, like...
But when you go and
let's
see
get there.
the media day, ask them to put you in that car to show you how it goes.
Oh,
There's a few brands.
Then you have to report
Yes,
back
yeah.
and tell me how it went.
For sure. Okay, so how many brands are we looking at that are going to be displaying at this year's? Is this bigger than last year? Are you going bigger, bolder, louder?
Yes. So firstly, I want to give a shout out to our partners.
Okay.
So our naming rights partner is West Bank, and they are bringing on huge activations.
Okay.
So they've really created a beautiful thing for the customer, and the customer journey is taking place in the Galleria. Then we have Santam, who has naming rights to an adventure zone. And we have the Take a Lot self-handling track. So the automotive brands, they all set up in 60 pit doors. So it's 40 doors. You'll get to know the zones in a green zone and 20 doors in a yellow zone. And so Page the Shelby is part of the green zone with the 40 doors. So the automotive brands, we have 22 on signed up. I can't mention one brand and leave out another, but it starts with the showdown from the VW Group, passenger and commercial. We have Toyota returning. We've got BYD, GAC, MG, LDV, Suzuki's got a big show going down, a Bake. I'm trying to remember them in put order so I don't forget. Mahindra, and we have Jayco Amoda, and new brand iCar was doing like massive activations. So the customers got access to over, I would say, 60 cars on track. You just arrive, queue, and you have a slot on the track.
Wow.
I mean, isn't that cool?
That's incredible.
To get to go around the Kyalami circuit, it's just like a once in a lifetime, I would say, for some. Some it's ticking off a bucket list. So opportunities are there for the customer definitely this year. More opportunities.
So do they get to test drive the cars or what?
Only on the self-handling.
Oh.
But on the main circuit, you are driven by an instructor like a page.
Okay.
A racing driver.
Oh, I'm ready, man.
I was going to say, he's in the queue.
I'm already in the front.
And you have to videotape it for our show so we can play it when we put it on our show, because we want to show how you drive.
That's going to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we always explain festival as a motoring showdown, but it's actually a marketing showdown, because instead of a static showroom, the customer gets to come to festival and feel and experience something so different. And I call it like a marketing advocacy happens the minute the passenger gets out of that vehicle, and the smile and the forever memories. I mean, with all the brands on board, they become the fans of the brand forever. Just from a ride or having an activation with Shelby, they will remember it for a lifetime.
Absolutely.
That kind of story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We actually found when we did, when the Formula One came out to Kyalami the last time, we were helicoptered in, and because I was with a tour operator and they helicoptered us in, and we had a group going, and I was like, this is so different, because it wasn't zing, zing, and you think, okay, who's winning? No, we got no idea. Who's that? I don't know. Eventually, I just put my headphones on and sat and drank in the bar, and but it's like, but you're here, and I go, but I have no idea what's going on, because at home when you watch the track, you can see what's going on. Yeah. When you're sitting at a real track, you can just see this part that you can see in front of you. Yeah. So you have no idea who came past the last time and who came first. And whereas when we went to the media day at the motoring festival, it was great because they didn't do like all these hundreds of people going around all the time. It was literally, you knew which car your guy left in, so you could videotape him in getting into the car, getting off, and then when he came back into the pit lane, could videotape him again, because it was just one car. Yeah. So it made it just phenomenal. It was great. We did that with the motorbikes, with the motor cars. We did it with also the paraplegic guys, because they had, I think it's called CM Motoring. I might be wrong. And they showed how they could take cars and change them so that it would suit disabled people as well. And we were able to film that as well. Yeah. So it was really, really cool, because as a woman, I don't really get to talk cars.
Yeah.
Well, we talk cars.
Yeah, we talk cars all day.
So I just want to go back to how the motor industry has changed in the last 5 years or so, especially seeing how Asia has just come out. India with Mahindra has also come out quite strong. I'm sure there's more cars this year than there was 2-3 years ago, now that there are new car players.
Yes, definitely. And festival this year, we had to, the narrative has changed. So we had to put out a strong messaging about the brands that are coming to festival, because we have to embrace the shifting landscape.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. And festival is a consumer event, and you can see the sector is adapting to the needs of the consumer. You have to. Unfortunately, it's so the premium brands will have their market segment, but you have to, the majority of people in our country and buying cars, you have to feed a budget. You have to feed what's going on, where they are at a lifestyle. We know for the past 4 years, disposable income, that word doesn't even exist anymore.
True.
For some it's survival, some it's getting to work from A to B. So the sector needs to see to that first. Then we can, as you upgrading your life and then you're changing, you just going from model to model, or you are a premium buyer, there's a market there. But I think we just have to embrace everything that's going on in the sector and not say, like make a statement like why it's only these brands. It is what it is, and like festival, we cater for all the segments. So every brand that's coming on, we embrace it, and we have a segment that will follow that particular brand. I mean, Tata is also launched in this country again, and they will be at festival. So happiness, everyone plays nicely at festival. All the competitors are there, so you're next door to each other. You play nice, and you are there for the community. Because without the consumer, then what happens to your product anyway? So let's see to the consumer. Is
there pressure on some of these other iconic so-called brands that have been around for so long? They've been luxury brands, and they're seeing all these new players coming up. And then when they come to the festival, do they want a bigger space, a better space, where like, is there demands from them, or is everybody just playing good cool? No, I think they still have their standards to keep up. Like, you can't just put on a premium show and do it half-baked. If I put it in those words. They still have to come on and put on a wow show. So either you participate or you don't. But I think it's just that we've seen the sales are dropping for some of the premium brands. Absolutely. So what is the priority? Do you continue with like that sort of marketing plan, or you shift gears? So if you only want to target your premium buyer, then you would have a premium event, and then Festival of Motoring, although we have a huge premium segment, you may not want to participate. But it's open-ended, it's not we pick and we choose. We don't do that. Festival is open to all segments, as I said. So it is I think if we read the articles in the news, it is stressful for the premium segment, but they've also upping their game. You can see it's just a different level of marketing activation.
And I think certainly automatic is making a comeback, whereas this country wasn't traditionally an automatic market. If I look at the brands that are coming, like we looked at that MG SUV, that for us was a automatic. So now we're saying, actually, we want to look at automatic cars. So we're going to go to the festival and look at the cars that come into our price range that are automatic. And purely because we're older, Keith is now 68, doesn't really want to sit in traffic and change gears, whereas before he always drove a huge badass bucky, loved the whole revving, let me change to 6 to 4th, put it into 4x4 mode. He's now over that. He just wants to drive along, not have to worry with the changing of the gears, and cruise, because we do a lot of road traveling. And I think when you do a lot of road traveling, that automatic gearbox just becomes a lot simpler. But I noticed when my son got his license now, he, at the age of 32, he finally got his license. Yes. So, because he lived in London, he had no reason to get a car. When they live in places where public transport is so freely available, they don't see the point. And then they start to travel, and they realize they can't go into Africa, arrive at, and we'll use Mozambique, arrive in Maputo, and then that's all you see is Maputo. Unless you catch, the local taxis or whatever, you're screwed. So you really do need a license, not maybe for your home use, but certainly for when you travel. So he started to travel, and when he arrived here and he said, I just got my license, I was like, yes. He said, it's in an automatic. I was like, no, you should have got it in a stick shift and then progress to an automatic, because then you can always drive both. Because I have a code 14 license because I've always wanted to drive a truck. So that's what I did. I went and got a license in a code 14. So that for me, I may never use it. I may use it, who knows? But I have it because I always wanted one. And I just wished he had gone that route of it starting on the stick shift, because once you're an automatic and it's on your license as well, you don't really have a choice to go back. And I think when I went to America, I drove the stick shift that's on your steering wheel. That was fun, because there you don't have the view that you have of your gearbox where it says 1, 2, 3, 4, You kind of have this, is that 1 or is that 6? But it's fun. Have you driven one of those?
Yeah, my dad collects old cars. So
it's really fun to drive those. I drove one of those in America and I really loved it. But here they don't have those. They only have your normal stick shift. And that's about it.
I wanted to ask you about the electric and petrol, because you're a petrol head. You guys shall be consume a lot of is there a shift? Are we seeing a shift with consumers, whether looking at petrol? Does petrol matter like to the consumer? Do they want to go electric? Let's start with you, because you know, you're the one that's gathering everybody together.
So we've got EVs, definitely, and we had to cater for that market.
Yeah.
So we definitely have some EV cars also at Festival. Every year we have the vehicles. We've just seen we just take from the survey, the information we get, there's a shift, but it's not as drastic. It's not like happening as fast as in other parts of the world.
Okay.
I mean, that's known, but there's definitely a shift. And I think for, once again, that segment that wanting the EV and wants to check it out, Festival caters for that.
Yeah. You've got the likes of BYD there.
Correct. BYD's got bringing the EVs. I don't want to. So I think VW, and then I think GAC also, but definitely there's EVs.
Yeah. That's incredible. And there's no fear for electric vehicles on your side, right? Or
no fear.
We're not looking at making any of those muscle cars electric, right?
No. I mean, Ford have been quite strong in their stance in keeping the V8 Mustangs globally. I think you've got those die-hard people who want to hear and feel an engine and not rely on electricity. I also think in South Africa it's quite difficult to rely on electricity for a car, because sometimes you don't have it, and then you're not going to get anywhere.
And you certainly can't light a fire in this place.
So I think there's a few challenges in South Africa when it comes to electric vehicles. We don't have the resources for long trips to charge the vehicles in most places just yet, and I also think South Africans drive a lot. Like, we travel, we do a lot of kilometers, so it's not like we're in one tiny little city where you can rely on your battery being full for a day and you get everything done. I mean, I do a lot of mileage in my day on the road to different dealers and to Swartkops Race and wherever. Like, an electric car would never last a full day for me. So I don't think South Africa is there yet, and I think it's going to take a very long time for South Africa to get to that point. But when it comes to like motorsport and hearing an engine on a racetrack compared to like seeing a little electric car,
it's not the same. You need that noise, that muscle, that
but I mean, they're impressive cars. Like, to drive an EV is incredible. The way that they go, you put your foot down and they go. They're incredible cars.
Quick pull-off.
But I don't think it's a sustainable vehicle for most South Africans at this point.
Absolutely. All right, so just in terms of who should be going to this event, who should be attending?
Everyone.
Parents, kids.
Parents, we've got family chill pod packages. We've got a junior karting. We've got events for the families, like, the whole, so every age group.
There's a kids zone.
There's a kids zone, full on kids zone. Teenagers, we've got a gaming simulator zone. And as long as you're 1.2 meters in height, regardless of age, you get into the car on the track.
There's shopping for the ladies.
Plenty shopping.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes.
And you know what's nice as well is the last time we were there, I think it was last year, they let us learn how to ride a scooter. Yes. Now, being a motorbike rider, it's very different to ride a scooter. So it's quite interesting. Like, we've got all our motorbikes and we're quite used to riding a motorbike. Then I said, I've never driven a scooter. I want to go on that scooter thing. So we went down there and they put me on the scooter, and it's so different because you now have almost a platform that you don't have to put your foot out of that side, because the whole bike kind of goes that way. So I don't know if you've driven a scooter.
I have.
Have you? Okay.
I've owned 2 of them, I think.
So I have never driven a scooter. I've only driven a motorbike. So when I had to go from a motorbike to a scooter, it was so different. Because the management of it is also very different. So the turning circle and all that is very different. But it was great to use the motoring festival, the Festival of Motoring, to try out the things that you can't do in a dealership. Like, you can sit on it, but you can't drive it in a dealership. There you can test it. You can say, what's it like to drive? Have you got any electric bicycles there?
No, we don't.
Because that was also a very different experience. We rode one in Cape Town, and they said you just have to press the button and then you can go up the hill. It's like so cool. So you don't have to pedal your ass off, you just like, and it goes, but then the battery also dies, kind of somewhere along the way the battery dies. And then it becomes even harder to cycle. So it's all these motorized sports and the motorized ways that we get around is what you can find with you.
But what we do have for the experiences, and all the tickets are available and experiences on Howler. That's our ticketing partner.
Okay.
And we have experiences from Simola Hill Climb, and they have the VW, the high performance cars, the motorsport vehicles, and AMG, the Mercedes Driving Academy. And we've got BMW Club, M performance cars. So it's just the BMW race car series.
Wow.
Yes, and so we've also added this year another supercar experience. So there's a McLaren, a Ferrari, and some M3s going.
That's incredible.
Yes, so customers can purchase those experiences on Howler.
Wow.
Yes,
So you the show director.
correct.
And what does the show director do?
You direct the
Everything.
show.
Charge of
We
the
have
build,
it
the
made.
safety.
Yeah, and we don't sleep, but there's an amazing team
Yeah.
at the circuit currently. So we're part of the Messe Frankfurt group, one of the oldest exhibition and trade organizers in the world. And we organize the Festival Motoring. This is our 8th edition, but we have a team that puts together in-house team. We've got operations, marketing, admin, all of that, and then yes,
Yeah.
I am the show director.
So why specifically Kyalami? Yeah, are there other places that you do the show at in other provinces, or just Gauteng, Joburg?
Only Gauteng and in at Kyalami.
Okay.
Kyalami does serve a purpose because since it's an experiential event, we need spaces and places that we can cut up the venue and provide these different experiences, and it's equipped for that. So there's a 4x4 course, the self-handling, and the main circuit, and then Kyalami has the skid pan, which also works perfectly. There's drifting and there's karting taking place there, and Subaru's also got an urban track. Just to mention, the general access ticket of 295 Rand allows the visitor complimentary rides on all experience zones.
Wow.
So with that ticket, you get a ride onto the track, self-handling, all of that. There's no additional cost to that. So that's the draw card, is that once you get into festival, most of it, it's free actually. You can say all of it, except for the paid for experiences.
So that's good entertainment for the family,
Yeah.
for the
You can
day.
literally, and
For
on
3
one ticket, do you
days.
go the weekend, or is one
No,
ticket per day?
One day, but there's a weekend special. There's so much to see and do.
weekend
Yeah, you actually
that
need more than one
more
day.
yeah,
I can imagine.
and
Especially if you're a petrol head.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, you're never going to experience everything in one day.
Yes.
It's just impossible.
Yeah.
And it starts next week, Friday?
Correct, and ends on Sunday.
So you can, especially if you're retired like my husband is, best go on Friday.
Yeah, Friday's a
Because
good
that's
day.
it's a good day, because you can get to
Quite
pretty
a-
much do everything
Yes.
without having to stand in too long a queue. It's like being at Disney World.
Yes.
You go on certain days, you don't have to stand in long queues. You kind of have the shorter queue scenario, so you can see more
Yeah.
and do more. So I think
Yeah.
Friday's a good day.
And music and entertainment?
Yeah, the reason we don't have a lot of music and entertainment is you cannot hear the music and entertainment.
That's so true,
True,
actually.
and I will tell you, because we work it down so strictly, the schedule on the noise levels and the track, that you only have 6 times 20 minutes where it's quiet
What?
a day. So it's pointless to get an artist there, so we don't. That's
Yeah,
the
because you
reason.
need headphones.
Oh.
Yes. There's a silent disco happening.
Silent disco.
Where you
in the
wear
gallery, yeah.
headphones. Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Have you never been to one?
No. Okay. What happens
Go
there?
watch a video of it. It's so entertaining.
Yeah, you
Yes.
just all wear headphones, so you don't, and you can listen to different music if you want to.
So you
can
see
listen
people
to,
dancing like crazy,
Yeah.
but you can't hear what
you
they're
can't hear what they're
dancing
No
dancing to,
way.
Yes.
and you can choose
incredible.
what you want to listen to.
Wait, okay, so there's a whole section for this.
Yeah, there's just one activation in
Okay.
the indoors.
Oh, that's interesting.
Sometimes doing that, and you can have a dance to yourself kind of story.
Oh, you pick your own music and you just dance.
Yes.
Well, there's
Oh,
like
that's
2 or 3
incredible.
different channels, I think, on the headphone, and you can
Yeah.
choose which channel you want to be on.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And we can give away one set of double tickets as
Oh.
well.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool.
So we
Before
can?
that, tell me, so how did this come about? The actual event? Like, I mean, it came 8 years ago.
Yes.
You've been running it for 8 years.
No, I joined past 4 years, so I'm post COVID.
Oh, okay.
But pre-COVID, the show started as gyms, and it was known as the Johannesburg Motor Show.
Oh.
So Johannesburg International Motor Show.
Motor Show, yeah.
And it used to take place at Nasrec.
Nasrec, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
So
yes.
that's how it evolved, and then it was moved to Kailami around 2017. So yes, so we did not have an event for 2 years. So it was 2021.
Yeah, in 2022
yes.
probably.
Yeah. And then we resumed in 22.
Yeah. So this is the biggest car festival in the country.
Yes, of its kind, and we can't. I think we always state we're the largest of the kind in the continent because we cannot find another experiential show on this level.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's incredible, man. Wow, ladies, this has been amazing. It's so good to see women just doing such amazing work, man. You guys are amazing. So,
And Messi Frank has been, they bring out other shows as well as the Festival of Motoring. So they're quite well entrenched in South Africa, which makes them a trusted brand.
Oh.
Yes.
So when you
yes.
see them hosting something, it's a trusted brand
Oh, so
because
you
they
guys do
only
other
come
events?
Correct. We have
Yeah.
8 events under our portfolio.
Okay.
You can check it out. We sector based, so we have like
Correct.
fashion, textile. There's a trade event also for the motoring sector, Mechanica, coming up at the end of October. That's part of our global brand that happens all over the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we have a few. You check out the organization. We're 800 years old.
800.
Yes, so check
Forever.
it out. Forever.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's good, very steeped history on delivering the largest trade shows and exhibitions in the world.
Is it an international company?
Correct.
Yeah,
yes.
from Germany.
Germany and
Oh, yeah, you did say.
yes.
Wow.
So very big. They bought out as well the photography expo.
Yes.
I
which is-
remember.
Yeah, it was under our portfolio.
It was under, and then
No
they moved it
longer.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they
Yeah.
just really do good
And
brands.
we also do Hobby X, which is another consumer event.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I've
Also
seen
taking
all
place at
this.
Kailami next year, May again.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's incredible.
Yes.
All right. So, being Women's Month, how does it feel being celebrated as females, as women? Do you like having a Women's Month? Let's start with you. And how different is it? Do you feel celebrated and respected and loved?
Yeah, I think it's a really special month for women, especially women who are in interesting male-dominated spaces like we are.
Yes.
I think it highlights, what we do in the industry, and it definitely shows more support, and it gives awareness, I think, to women living in men's worlds and living their dreams, showing other women that it is possible. So I do think it's a great time of year, and yeah, you get to really celebrate iconic women that have done amazing things in this country, and we need that. We need the support, so it's been amazing.
How difficult is it for you as a female being in the male-dominated industry? Well, it helps having a father like yours.
Yeah, it helps, but I've dealt with a lot. I've
Okay.
been hit off the track a number of times on
Really?
a straight by guys, and like the questions we get asked by guys, I mean, at shows you'll get guys who'll tell us straight that they refuse to deal with a woman, they'll only speak to a man about a car. So we deal with a lot in the automotive space as a woman. It's definitely getting better, and I think now that I've been in the industry for so long, and with all the accolades that I have with racing, I think I've proven I have a right to be here and I have a talent. And I've learned to stand my ground, so I can have a go at you if I really need to.
Okay.
But
Damn,
yeah,
girl.
I've had my fair share of ups and downs. It's definitely more difficult than being in a normal space. But yeah, I'm in a good space now, and I think I've earned a lot of respect, and I've proven that I have a right to be here.
Well, 2 weeks ago, remember we had Charmaine Palser, who's a diesel mechanic.
Oh, wow.
And she is one of South Africa's leading diesel mechanics on underground machinery in mines.
Wow.
So she had a lot to deal with as well. As she said, she went to a school that was close by, that was a tech school. She was the only girl, and then was given a choice of subjects, of which diesel mechanic was one. And she thought, well, I could do this. And she did.
Yeah.
And she's now doing really, really well in a very male dominant, because I mean, there were never male and female showers at a mine.
Yeah.
There was only male showers. Now they've had to change that because of her. So she was very groundbreaking in the fact that she stood her ground and said, I'm going to always be here. You may as well make space for me.
Yeah, and that's what it comes down to at the end of the day, is if you have a dream and it's something you want to do,
Go
you
ahead and
need
do
to,
it.
Yeah, you need to be strong enough to stand your ground and go for it.
Absolutely. How do you handle it?
So my story also started in a very different place. Well, not different. I
Okay.
started in '94 at the Kailami racetrack,
Wow.
fresh out of art school.
What?
And '94, right? So giving away my age.
Some years ago.
Yeah. So and the strange thing is, I was known for admin. If you sit at a meeting, oh, Judy, please organize the coffee. So we
Take the minutes.
take the minutes, that kind of thing. So I had to work extra hard. And 12 years later, I became general manager of the racetrack. So having achieved that, I just thought I can do bigger and better. So I had great mentors and male mentors that I then could put on international events and be part of that team.
Wow.
So we started differently. We had to fight for our seat at the table. Paige will also have that, because the motorsport industry, we love our fellow men colleagues, but when we speak, I feel or felt they never heard us in the way that we were, like our opinion, it mattered, but only on a certain level.
Okay.
So now we are known for delivery.
Very patronizing.
Yes.
Well done.
Yes. Now we are known for delivery. We know what we deliver, what we bring to the table, but we had to prove that.
Yeah.
And so that's where we started. But having said that, like in Messi Frankfurt, my male colleagues, my MD, fully supports the growth of women, because understands that yes, we're coming from a different place, but we can deliver, and sometimes I feel we can deliver more, and we own it.
Wow.
Nice.
Incredible, man. Shout out. Wow,
Nice one.
man.
So how are we going to give away those tickets? Let's put
Okay,
it.
so we got 2 minutes to go. So what we're gonna do is maybe.
So it's got to be a woman winner. Sorry.
Okay.
Got to be a winner.
Well, you just changed these rules.
we have to. It's Women's Month.
Okay,
we have
that's
to
also
encourage
true.
more
How
women
many
to go
tickets
to
are
the
we-
festival.
How many tickets are we giving away?
2 doubles.
Two double
doubles.
tickets.
Okay, cool. All right, so we got 2 minutes to go. So what we'll do is you'll hand over the tickets, and then we'll run the competition on our Bogart app.
Yeah.
And then the winners will get. We'll ask them two
Two double
questions.
tickets.
And then we'll get them to watch the show and answer the questions, and then they'll get the tickets.
Cool.
All right, you happy with
Awesome.
Yes, it's digital, by the way, the tickets.
that?
Of course, digital. Always digital. Howler is digital.
Okay,
Yes.
so confirm the dates again and tell people how much it is to get there.
It's the 29th to the 31st of August at the Kyalami Grand Prix Circuit. And the tickets are $2.95 for a general access, but we have various packages available on Howler.
Okay.
www.howler.
Howler.co.za.
Shout out, ladies. Thank you so much, man. This has been such an eye-opening experience for me, just to see how beautiful women are doing it and handling the men, because sometimes we need to be handled.
And Paige Lindenberg and Judy Maharaj, thank you so much for joining us. Festival of Motoring, and of course your own brand, Shelby, which was just up your street.
Oh man, I listen. I want to get on those cars, the AC Cobra, and of course the Mustang. I would love.
And we'll
to
see you at
experience
Media Day.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
Geniene
All
from
right.
Beyond the Itinerary with Uncle Zach. See you next week.
We're
Well,
out.
Some of us will.
Yeah. All right, man. Thank you very much for tuning in. This has been the Beyond the Itinerary.
Good day. So today we are going to have a conversation. We're going to start with Rudy Heineke, who's our senior project manager and investigating the corruption, the cesspool of corruption that's been taking place at CITES over a long time. But we want to go back to where it started. And after this quick introduction with Rudy Heineke, we're going to then interview a whistleblower. There were 3 whistleblowers that came into the scene, into our office, right in the beginning, from Services CETA. And that's where everything started, and we need to hear her story. But before we get there, Rudy, let's go back in time and tell us where this all started.
Thank you, Wayne. Yes, in 2018, 3 brave souls walked into our offices and reported irregularities that took place on 9 different tenders. We asked Services CETA for documentation, tender documentation. They refused. We launched the PIA application. We went to court, and 2.5 years later, we only received the documentation from Services CETA with regards to to one specific tender, and that was the Grace and Reed tender.
Okay.
Then we started to investigate the Grace and Reed tender. We brought out a report on that, and when the report came out, was published, the executive of Services CETA, the CEO, the CFO, and the manager of legal services came to see us at our offices. We discussed the report, and they undertook to look at the irregularities that took place, and they also said that they will take that there will be a consequence management.
Right. Who are these three people?
The three people were at the time the CEO, Mr. Fakude, the CFO, Mr. Matsebe, and the legal manager, Mr. Mkushlu.
Right.
Now, their board notified us that they appointed werksmans to do an investigation on the SEM procedures of Services SETA, as well as the allegations with regards to these 9 tenders that we handed over to them.
Right. The board chair was?
At that time, the board chair was Mr. Stephen de Vries.
Okay.
And we were very happy about that. Only to realize a bit later that they are really trying to hold back that report from us, because there were a lot of people still at Services SETA who was implicated in that report. And they held back that report. They didn't want to share it with us. We had to go to the information regulator this time after a prior request to get that report. And that report, showed us that everything that the whistleblowers told us in 2018 was correct.
So there's gross maladministration, corruption taking place, rampant corruption at Services SETA. The report by Worksman showed that. The chairperson, the board knows about this, as does the management, and yet nothing happens.
Absolutely. What is also important of that report is that implicated service providers at that time, they changed company names, they changed directors, and they followed Andile Nongogo to NASFAS, just to be appointed at NASFAS again.
Yeah.
So what we have seen here, Wayne, is a situation where service providers followed a CEO to a new entity, and in the process spending billions of rands, or they received billions of rands, tenders that were awarded to them. And that is why this conversation that you will have with this person later on is so important, because what those 3 brave souls told us in 2018 saved the country billions of rands.
Yeah.
And that's why, on the one hand, why it's so important. The other thing is that when you look at NASFAS, for example,
NSFAS is the National Students Finance Aid Scheme.
Correct, where Andile Nongogo was the CEO. The direct payment system of student allowances, one of the 4 companies, the fintech companies, was Coinvest. Coinvest was a company that was born back in the Services SETA days.
And we've heard about them at the construction SETA as well.
Correct,
recently.
correct. And Coinvest would have earned, or the 4 fintech companies would have earned in the 5-year contract, if that proceeded, 1.5 billion rand in fees. And that is what these 3 whistleblowers stopped. And not only the taxpayers' money or the NASFAS money, but that money would have been taken as fees from students. And I can say with all honesty, Wayne, that if it wasn't for these 3 people that came to see us, I don't think that ALTA would have got so invested into investigations on higher education, because that was the spark and the start for us to look deeper into higher education. And today I'm very glad and I'm very proud that we did, because higher education is such an important department in this country, and if they fail, and if NASFAS fails, if the SETAs fails, the unemployment rates will go up even more. And that's why I'm so glad that you will have this conversation today, and that one of those 3 people, said that I want to come and speak up. I'm very proud of this person.
I'm very, very proud of whistleblowers engaging with us, without a doubt. We couldn't do our work without them, and we would not have been able to stop this and write these reports without them. And but sadly, we will hear how their lives become, seriously compromised and ruined, and livelihoods are just trashed and decimated as a result of people, by the way, continue to fill senior positions in the Services SETA.
Yes, and that is the sad part about it.
Okay, we're going to have that conversation now with the whistleblower who came into your office with 2 other colleagues right in the beginning in 2018.
Correct.
Thanks, Rudy, and well done. It's amazing work, and I think what this is testament to is the more you dig, when you smell the rat, when you see what's happening, when you get fed the right information, and we dig, this resilience continues. To this day, here we are, 7 years later, still uncovering so much rot in various seaters. But the sad thing is the services seater continues to be as rotten as it is. But keep digging, and there'll be more episodes to flow from this, I'm sure, shortly. Thanks, Rudy.
Thank you.
So now I'm going to have a discussion with someone we'll call Miss Sampson. Her face will be disguised for personal reasons, but we're quite sure that the perpetrators who we are talking about in this expose of the corruption that's been taking place at Services Seater will know who she is. She's a brave soul. She and 2 other whistleblowers entered our office in 2018. Miss Sampson, I want to firstly thank you for taking the time to come here and speak out, because it's so important that the public and the authorities get to understand the people, the pain, the real issues behind the scenes and what has actually happened and transpired that has literally ruined your life. So thank you for being brave. Thank you for stepping up. But tell us, take us back to that day. What made you, what compelled you and your 2 colleagues to come and see Outer and give us the information that sparked a whole series of exposés that have led to the dismissal and resignations of people in senior positions down the line, appointed by Bladen Zamande, by the way, the Minister of Higher Education at the time. We would not have got to where we are on so many of these exposés if it wasn't for that day. Tell us about that day you came in. Why?
Thanks for having me. What a journey it has been. An uneasy journey that we needed to travel, leading to the events of the day where we took a decision, a sober decision for that matter, to expose graft within the Services Seater. You ought to know and appreciate the mandate of the sitters. They were established as a result of the past difficulties faced by the country, and as a measure to address the issue of youth unemployment and participation in the mainstream economy. So when you see monies that are meant to empower our people going in a direction in which they're not supposed to, you start paying attention. You start asking serious and difficult questions.
So what was your role and what did you see?
We started seeing the abuse of public funds.
Right.
We started seeing a culture of empowering friends and families.
Yeah.
We started seeing a culture of bullying those that understood the mandate of the seater. We started seeing a capture of its own kind, in which it was probably orchestrated with the intention to plunder the public purse.
Yeah.
Now, the board came in 2013 with a term of 5 years. So it means their term was coming to an end in 2018. And they were led by a gentleman called Themba Mhambi.
Themba Mhambi, he's also the current chairperson of SANRAL.
That's correct.
An organization we've accused of gross overreach while he's been the board. But
That's
anyway.
correct. So he came in with his board in 2013, and they appointed the CFO at that time, because we had just come out of administration in 2013. So they appointed the CFO, and they would have appointed the acting CEO to oversee the executive management team of the Services Seater. The tender system became the order of the day, the manipulation thereof. And it was a cesspool, if you ask me.
Tell us some of those tenders, the amounts. What are we talking about? Companies' names, because I recall Grayson Reed was a company.
Grayson Reed was quite interesting because we conceptualized a process of paying stipends to learners so that there's no delays and they're able to attend classes, go to the workplaces, and all of that. But it was then turned around to something that was going to benefit a few and not even the learners.
Yeah.
So Grayson Reed was appointed as service provider to to disperse stipends on behalf of the services
And
SETA,
monitor their attendance.
yes,
and so
to
forth,
learners
yeah.
that were indentured in our programs at that time. And we had problems day one. And we started raising these problems to say that we are receiving calls from learners who are not receiving their stipends. Then we'd be sitting in meetings upon meetings upon meetings. And when we got to understand what the real intention was behind the appointment of service of this Grace and Reed, it was a shock of our lives, because we then understood that these people that are appointed to disburse these grants don't even have the necessary experience to do that. So they've never done it before.
Systems, everything.
Systems, and you name it. And you're talking about 10,000 learners at a go. So if you are a small company entrusted with such, how are you going to get it right when you've never done it before? And we tried to make it work. It was not working because there were no systems at all. Right. And
was anyone held accountable? Was anybody for appointing Grace and Reed and making sure this project happened? No one was held accountable?
No one was held accountable. And in fact, I think I need to highlight this. Even those that would be serving on the BEC, the Bid Evaluation Committees, would have been given the mandate upfront before before the BEC even ceased to say this is the company we want. So as you do whatever your evaluations and all those processes, you must keep that in mind. How do I know that? That's the question you need to ask me. And I'll tell you how. So it's a committee comprising of 5-6 people who serve there and would have been given the mandate to ensure that this particular provider gets the allocation. One of them came to us and said, guys, I am worried. Now he's now giving us the internal operations of how these things are orchestrated, saying to us, as we get nominated and appointed to serve on the BEC, we are given a mandate upfront to say that we are going to issue a tender. There's so many applicants, but you are to ensure that this one particular provider gets a favorable outcome. At first, we thought,
how do you do that?
How do you do that? And we were not even sure if we could trust him. We thought he may have been sent to test our thinking and where our eyes were. And we said, we can't trust you at this moment until you give us tangible evidence. And indeed, he came back with documents which are supposed to be confidential. Brought them to our attention to say, this is the mechanisms of how we get these dodgy service providers appointed. We had to sit down now and say, how do we go about this? Right? And we have to report this. We can't sit on this.
Who did you report it to?
It was on a Friday, I remember. We went to run back
to our offices.
To out, and we met with you the first time. I still remember when we had to explain what CETAs do and all of that, because they are a complex animal in their nature. So we came and we shared that with you, and that was the tip of the iceberg. The same individual came back with more, and when I say more, this is now no longer Grace and Reed. Then there's now a tenders on branding materials that would have been
paying 5,000-6,000% more than what we should have for.
Yes, as you would have seen in reports that were later issued as a result of these investigations, and. Now, this became more than we thought it would be, and we couldn't understand how the services SETA could spend about 340 million or more towards branding.
Just towards branding.
Just towards branding. It didn't make
340 million rand.
We still had to sit with this gentleman to say, are you sure this is what you guys approved in the BEC? He says, yes, this was approved. And he went further than that. He gave us proof of payments channeled towards the service providers who later got appointed.
This is Star Sun and Preston.
That's correct.
Right.
Wow. And we just couldn't believe it. And we took the second batch to you guys, and you did your investigations as expected, and you came out with your report. So before the issuing of the report by Outer, the services started making headlines with regards to Grace and Reed and the branding company. And now we started being looked at as suspects. Or,
so they must have worked out that you were giving us this information.
They must have. Then
who's they, by the way? The CEO, CFO?
It would be the CEO at first. I remember she called us into a meeting trying to threaten people that are leaking information to Outer. And
who was the CEO?
At that time, the CEO was Miss Amanda Buzo. That was then followed by us being suspended.
Okay, so the CEO suspended the three of you.
The three of us.
On what allegation? What did they?
In fact, the one whistleblower was suspended was suspended by Andile Nongoko.
Okay. And Andile was the CFO.
He was the CEO at that time, because when he left for NSFAS, he left as CEO of the services SETA. And the two of us were then suspended by Miss Amanda Buzo. That was in 2019. Remember, we paid you a visit in 2018.
Suspended, but on what charges did they suspend you? Just on leaking information? Did they have evidence?
No, our charges had nothing to do with that. But we were then, I think God's grace will always be upon us, because someone from the legal service department came to us and said, these people are onto you. And they can't find anything they can use against you. So they're going to look for just about anything that they can use to get rid of you. And indeed, they succeeded, because if you look at the charges, you'll cry. You know. And we always say with my fellow whistleblowers that we are fortunate that our charges had nothing to do with maladministration or misusing of SETA funds or corruption or anything of that fashion. So you can see that indeed they had to look for something they could use against us, and they succeeded. And when you get charged, you already know that you're gone, because you've already been told that you are not coming back. We are going to make sure that you don't come back.
I want to start moving into what was happening, these appointments. And Andile Nongogo became the CEO.
That's correct.
Appointed by the board chair, the board Temba Mahambi, who was the chair, and you were then pushed out. But this corruption continued, and you were obviously very close to what was unfolding anyway inside the system.
Before we got pushed out, they had already made these appointments of the executive team. I remember that we were seeing an influx of people that used to work for the Auditor General, and they were occupying much senior positions within the organization. And the one that comes to mind would be the current CEO.
Who's that?
Sibusiso Dladla.
Okay.
He used to audit the services SETA on behalf of the Auditor General. Until then, he was appointed as manager at the services 10, one of the business units. Within a year, he was promoted to senior manager in the same unit. And then later on, he was promoted to executive manager in the same unit.
Which unit was that?
Planning.
Okay.
Which is responsible for the annual performance of the services SETA, and if we meet targets.
So became the executive manager.
Yes. So all of this happened within 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. We raised it to say that, how is this now happening? Obviously, we wouldn't have received the response that was expected.
But why couldn't he become that role, executive role?
At that time, we were looking at the speed in which he was climbing up the ladder.
All right.
But then we then referred the matter out to one of the authorities to look into the appointments of the services.
Which authority was that?
That was the National Skills Authority.
Yeah, NSA.
And they came back with a report that said Amanda Booz was not supposed to have been appointed executive manager, legal services.
Right.
That was before she became CEO.
Right.
But even after that report, she still occupied that position. Sibusiso Dladla was not supposed to have been.
Why not?
Because they didn't meet the requirements of those positions.
Okay.
The CFO is not supposed to be sitting in that position, and he's currently serving it on now.
And CFO was?
The CFO is Teola Matsebe,
Okay.
right? And then you have the executive manager in the office of the CEO. She also didn't qualify to serve in that position. And even after they received that report was issued, nothing was done. It was just ignored as if nothing happened.
So a lot of people pointed to senior positions who are not qualified for these positions, reports coming through from the NSA about this, and nothing happens. They just retain their positions.
We then approached the Office of the Public Protector.
Right.
She comes to the same conclusion. Now, the chairperson of the board at that time is now Stephen de Vries. Stephen de Vries inherited a system that worked well for the cabal. And when I mean the cabal, I mean those that...
were put in there too.
Yes, from 2013 up until he came in. And he must have been told this thing works. You just have to...
Don't interfere, yeah.
Yes, just leave it as is. And he rode on that wave because nothing changed. If anything, the situation deteriorated, and the performance of the services SETA deteriorated. And when I say that, I mean they got qualified audits for 5 consecutive years.
5 years in a row, while Stephen de Vries was there.
Yes. And now, this begs a question. Why was the minister quiet about all of this?
What's very important to note is that we've got number of reports that have shown that people were not qualified for these positions, these executive positions at Service SETA. And the reality is that to this day, those people still occupy these positions. So there's been no accountability whatsoever. Everybody's dragging their feet. Right now, we don't even have boards that are appointed. They've got these executive powers and board powers now. This is the current CEO who should not even be in that position.
He shouldn't be there. It was pointed out by the National Skills Authority, the Office of the Public Protector, the South African Qualifications Authority. Parliament is also aware that the current CEO should not be serving in that position. But for some reason, no one is saying anything. No one is doing anything about it. So if you look at the Werksman's report, it implicates a whole number of senior officials within the services SETA. While you expect that would have been dealt with as a result of their recommendations, which one of them was to refer the findings to South African Police Services. These people are getting promoted. They're now occupying much senior positions. One of the officials who's at the center of the branding scandal has now been promoted to executive manager. So she's being rewarded for looting the
How is that possible? And there's also Fukude, who was a service provider, who's JV. He was a member of a JV company that was received up to 60 million rand from Service SETA.
And from being a service provider, he became the CEO.
So you have somebody who earned a lot of money as a service provider to the the Service SETA is now the CEO.
Yes, and how were we going to get justice from a person who's also implicated in corruption within the services SETA? And it's not me now trying to defame him. There's a report by the public protector to that effect.
Yeah.
It's a fact.
Yeah. You know, I just want to try and bring this together. What we have in Services SETA is just one of the others. There are lots of them that are in the same position, where nobody's taking action against very clearly and obviously implicated people, underqualified people, sitting there for years. And we have the audit findings against them, qualified audits, and everybody just looks away.
Especially
so there's plundering and there's corruption and maladministration and money that should should not be going to where it's going right now as we speak. It certainly has in the last a number of years. And people like you and your other colleagues are just pushed out of this organization on minor trumped-up charges just to get you out the way because you're asking questions. We see this modus operandi everywhere. We've seen it at insurance CETA, we've seen it at construction CETA, services CETA, and others.
You know, I want to first say to you, we wrote to Parliament in 2021, if I'm not mistaken, raising these issues. And the Minister of Higher Education at that time, Preston Zemande, was called in to respond to that which we had raised in our letter. He confirmed he saw the letter and he will respond, only for him to give us a quarter-page response,
Which said what?
responding to what we had raised with him.
And he fobbed it off.
Yeah, and
Pretty much fobbed it off.
one of the committee members is now the chairperson of the portfolio committee. So at that time he was just an ordinary member of the committee. He's now the chairperson of the committee. He's fully aware of this.
Yeah. What's his name?
Debo Letsie.
Okay, but let's see.
Fully aware of what has been happening in the services seat over a period of time. One would expect him to get a shock of his life, at least a normal or a human reaction to say, why are we still being addressed by these officials when we know they're not supposed to be there?
Yeah.
He's not saying anything. He calls them, they come there, they
explain themselves. Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
He's not had the audacity and the moral courage to ask, why are these people that have been removed?
One would have
Why are the good
expected-
people who are exposing corruption being removed, and people who are not qualified, who are implicated in report after report, responsible for the maladministration, looking away, not holding the service providers to account when they
Nothing.
were told to do so, and the worksmen's reports,
Nothing.
everything. They remain in their positions, earning their fat salaries and continuing to allow funds to flow where they shouldn't flow. This is the sign of an absolutely corrupt system right the way through to the top.
Yes.
You have people in positions of power like Preston Zemande who also just looked away. And he fobbed us off when we started exposing Andile Nongogo at NSFAS. Eventually, he had no option but to fire him. I've said this a number of times. But so the cesspool, the tentacles of corruption, just in this one seat, and obviously all the others, here you are explaining this. Our view is this, and here I want to look at people in the face, people like the portfolio committee, like the ministers, the DGs, the president. You know, we need compensation for these whistleblowers whose lives have been ruined. Your life has been ruined.
It has been.
You've been unemployed. You've not been able to get a job.
You won't get a job, and I'll tell you why. The CETA community is very small. In that, if you go look for a job at one CETA, they already know that you were dealt with at the services CETA, and you are now painted as someone that can't be trusted. Now, I'll give you an example. One of my fellow whistleblowers was talking to one of the institutions in higher education, and they were now chatting towards getting into a contract where he was going to offer his services, consultancy services. And the administrator of the particular institution said, I can't touch you. I've been told not to touch you.
Yeah, you're tainted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is
So
modus
we're
operandi.
carrying a flag, a flag that says we've been dismissed and we can't be trusted. I don't know how they do it, but for some
they
reason
do.
they know how to do it. And much as our current status is unbearable in all of that. I must give it to the then chairperson of the board, Themba Mohambi. He used to say to us, towards now us being dealt with, he used to say to us, when I am done with you, your families will starve.
Is this what he said?
Your dogs
to you?
And cats will starve.
To you?
One day, you won't have a cent to your name. That's what he used to say. And we took it as a joke. Only for us later to sit and say, no, man.
This has become your reality.
He said it.
Yeah.
And it was not a prophecy. It was engineering at work. He was working towards making sure it happened.
Making sure you would never get employed.
And indeed, he got it right. I must give it to him.
But that's sick. That is absolutely sick for people to have that attitude. And he should have embraced you as the chairperson, exposing corruption for an organization that he was chairing, and yet he looked the other way because he's part of the problem.
Yes, and I can say that because the gentleman who now gave us the information we used to expose corruption in the services sector bravely told us that we given marching orders by the chairperson of the board. I wish I could.
The chairperson was firing
I could
people.
mention his name, but I need to protect him. I took a vow that we will protect your identity.
So the chairperson was getting involved in operational matters and making sure that people were being
ensure
fired.
that service providers that he wanted on board does get appointed. And it's not hearsay because...
Ms. Sampson, I want to just say on behalf of the people of South Africa, I'm shocked. I should be shocked. We should be, but because this is becoming such a regular occurrence, we have to apologize. We have to, as the people, because we have a system in place. But you're not going to get that apology from Themba Mohambi, from Andile Nongogo, from the executives that are still there, that understand and know all of this. You're going to have to get it from somewhere. So our message to them is, if you're going to clean up at the seaters and to the portfolio committee, then be serious about it and do it properly. Start with appointing the most stringent oversight requirements and people that can fill these positions of board chairs and board persons on these seaters. Get rid of any CEO and CFO who's been involved in a seater that's got qualified audits. Just get rid of them. You can, because their terms are all up. Do not renew their contracts. Get the right people into these positions. When I say the right people, people with qualifications, people who have moral courage to go and undo the corruption, to go and find the evidence, and to go and hold people to account. We can clean up the seaters and they can really fulfill their mandate. But you need to compensate people like Ms. Sampson and others. We've got lots of discussions on this point. There are many whistleblowers, and we'll bring them to you. They need to be compensated for the losses and the pain that they have suffered. As you heard from Ms. Sampson, Themba Mohambi's views is that these people who are trying to undo and tackle corruption will now suffer. They need their lives back. They need their livelihoods back. They need their jobs back. This is sick. This is unacceptable. And if the ministers do not take action, and the chairperson of the portfolio committee in Parliament doesn't take this seriously, and others, matters of this nature, then we are disappointed. We are dismayed, because you're part of the problem if you don't start taking action. Stop looking away and start putting your foot down and become part of the solution to fix this country. This is just a microcosm. This person's life is just one of many that continue to suffer as a result of this inaction and this complete misuse and abuse of your powers, where you have oversight, you have the ability to change it, and you don't. Thank you for your time, Ms. Sampson. Thank you for coming on and speaking up as you have done. We will do what we can to make sure that you're compensated and that something changes, yeah. But we have a lot of work to do to fix the seaters.
We do. It's just as an ending. I want to thank OUTA for the work that you guys have done to date. you don't only look into corruption, but you have become a safe haven to us. I want to also ask the Republic of South Africa to continue praying for our safety. The past 6-7 years have not been easy. Obviously, you would know that at some point our lives were in danger, or they continue to be in danger. So at this point in time, we ask that they continue to pray for our safety, and that God sees us through to the end of this. And that recommendations made in a number of reports, investigation reports that are being attended to, particularly the Werksman's report, which calls for people to be sent to jail, which calls for the 1 billion rands that has gone down the drain to be accounted for. And we hope that the minister will see this and will hear what you are saying to her, and she will put action into what needs to happen as soon as possible.
Well, we hope so. And that's the intention. And I just want you to be safe.
I'll try.
Yeah, and we can discuss what has to happen around that. But thank you for your duty to this country. You have saved this country. Your actions have, as Rudy was saying earlier, have saved this country millions, if not billions of rands. You are a hero in our eyes and in the people's eyes of this country, and we need more people like you to be able to come forward and speak out. But we also understand the plight that you've had to go through. This is why whistleblowers don't speak up and don't want to come forward, because they lose their livelihoods, they lose their jobs, and sometimes they lose their lives. And that's what's so unacceptable. And right to the top, the president and nobody is really doing anything meaningful to get to grips with corruption in this country. They're all looking away because they're part of the problem, because they're part of the massive network and cabal. So we will continue to work as hard as we can to stop this. We will continue to work with people like yourselves. Once again, thank you to the nation out there. This is another in a series of engagements we'll be having with whistleblowers, just so that you can understand how serious this matter is and what has to happen to fix it. We will continue to put the pressure on. Thanks again. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching.